Hello and welcome to The Corner. I'm the Frosted Glass and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages. I like boobs.
I think that we should just forego the show tonight and talk about music.
Yeah, we've been talking about bands and stuff in the private chat. Moonshock.
I'm just going to be here. You guys can talk about whatever you want. This will be the quietest episode you'll ever hear of me.
All right, well, as soon as you leave, we're going to start talking about Tron.
Oh,
jeez. Don't worry.
How dare you?
We can talk about the Daft Punk soundtrack, Moon. You can be in on the conversation too.
You know, they were in that movie, you know.
And
I can tell you.
We know.
I'm a Daft Punk fan.
I can give you timestamps. I can give you song titles.
Yeah.
Moonshock's sad because we've been talking about real music.
Shut up.
Terry Diamantis.
Yeah, I guess I'm here as well.
And this week's special guest, Prospero.
Hello. And Moonshock, don't speak that way to your elders.
Okay, fine. Please.
Don't run down your favorite group. Okay, I got it.
Yes, because it hurts my feelings.
Okay, why don't you just go play with the lunchbox? You'll feel better.
Is Daft Punk your favorite group, Moonshock?
God, no. No, I just love the sound. I just love the soundtrack. That's probably my favorite soundtrack of all time.
I'd be like, I love Daft Punk. I could talk Daft Punk.
Oh no, there are some of their albums that I can't stand, believe it or not. But that soundtrack.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, but then again, Daft Punk fans can't stand some of their albums.
Precisely,
and they can't stand their fucking movie. They made a fucking movie.
I think Frosted was joking when he said, "Let's turn this into a music stream."
Well, God damn it.
I just want to say quickly, Daft Punk made a movie and didn't feature any music in it at all.
That's
what?
That's stupid. They had a marketing opportunity.
It was shit.
And you paid money for it, didn't you?
No,
I didn't. I
watched
watched it for
orchestral
free.
tune. I'll tell you that much.
We're just covering Daft Punk this week.
All right, everybody. It was good to hear your voices. I'll see you later.
Yeah. That's a wonderful evening, and goodbye.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start with our first article.
Daft Punk.
Must we?
Daft Punk, the world's richest band.
I know, really. I am going to use music as some kind of an example on every one of these fucking nightmare things that you find. Because, I mean, I just do not understand how you can be such a bloodhound for such stupidity.
Well, he has a subscription to Medium. That's how he does it.
Prospero, you know that everything is going to be a thriller, and if you don't like it, you can just beat it.
I see.
I
see a lot of. I see many hoes mad in our future.
Hey, was this article written by Sargon?
Okay, so if we have hoes mad, we need to play Dank's warning about everybody to battle station.
Men need women. Women do not need men.
Bullshit.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So Ether is a lesbian. Got it.
A better title.
What? Okay. Before this goes on, I
got
why
3 words.
Is it if women don't need men? If women don't need men, why is it that every time there's a news article, every year there's another article from one of these rags about sex robots and how evil it is that men have sex robots?
Skynet?
It's because women know that there's competition and they don't like that because it means that they actually have to compete rather than just, be cunts.
Well, maybe women would actually be more desirable to men. Just saying, if they weren't such pickle puss skull.
No, but I think
cunts.
Men don't need women on like a survival base. Like a group of men can live like run a successful society, but there's no breeding prospects.
Right.
But women are like far more important to like the breeding side of things. But in terms of raw survival, men are just way more suited to survivalism.
Oh yeah.
Survivaling. I like that. We have a new word from down on
Survivaling.
the upside down
Dictionary.
dictionary.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
the thing is though, there is something, an interesting phenomenon, Terry, that occurs where men live longer if there are women in their lives. They tend, even though there's that old joke about husbands die first because they want to. If you look at the number of men who will remarry after they lose their wife to death, they tend to live a little bit longer when married or in a permanent relationship, but they do better, far better at survival. Camille Paglia said it. She said if civilization had been left up to women, we'd still be living in grass huts.
Oh yes, very much so.
And she's not wrong, and we'd be bickering about what type of grass we should be using.
The counter joke would be that married men don't live longer; it just feels that way.
Yes, there's that potential. I actually had a salesperson turn to my husband while we were there in the store and say, "See, this is why I'm not married." Because Cree smarted off at me, and I told him to shut the fuck up. And the guy was like, "And this is why I'm not married."
If you need to know about grass, I know that a short that's all about how it's at your fingertips.
Oh God. No.
The survival thing. I mean, I keep coming back to it. They did an experiment. I think it was like a Bear Grylls survival show where they split the men on one group and the women on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And if the producers hadn't stepped in, the women would have all died.
Yeah, they did that on Survivor.
They did it on Survivor. And they were they were so disorganized.
Yeah.
There were probably a couple competent women there, but they couldn't shut up the squabbling nonsense that's the problem. It's why I've never liked playing with women in sports. I much rather preferred playing with men because you click into a hierarchy better.
Yeah. I was going to say the men formed a natural hierarchy where, like, they knew what they were good at and they did that thing that they were good at, whereas the women were like squabbling over everything and they were lazy. Like there were like a whole bunch of them just lying on the beach. It's like, no, you got stuff that you should be doing. You can't.
Though in fairness, a lot of that I think is social. Is socially entrained these days.
Well, hierarchies are fascism, so
yeah, of course they are, because they occur in evolution, which of course would be science. Except apparently we're following something that isn't science when we're following science. I don't get it.
I think that if that experiment were performed, say 70 years ago, I think it would have ended a little differently. The women still wouldn't have won, but I don't think it would have been nearly as
Depression era women. Or if you had gone to homesteader women.
Yeah, like Dust Bowl survivors.
Yeah, it'd have been an entirely different matter.
Because people today are particular. I think that it hit women harder than it hit men, but there's so much fucking entitlement. It's ridiculous.
But also most women tend to have more negotiating personalities as opposed to dictatorial personalities. From the standpoint of men will form into a hierarchy because there's an alpha and alpha.
But there's also the problem that women are a lot more, they don't want to offend or upset each other.
Yes, that's it.
So they can't have one woman say, right, you go build a house, you go build a fire, you go get some fish. They're like, well, who put you in charge?
Yeah, and the diplomats in the group, interesting. If I do a Myers-Briggs, I kind of fall within the diplomat personality type. But there's only so much of that bullshit I can stand before I'm like, fuck all of you, and just go off and build my own hut and get my own fish and my own water and go starve. I don't give a shit.
On the Myers-Briggs, I'm the advocate. I'm the rarest one, the INFJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even remember what I am.
I think I'm like
Myers-Briggs.
I think I'm like INTJ, INFJ. I don't know, one of those.
INTJ is that sounds about.
I have surprised everybody who ever thought what I would be in that I do not ping over 50% on judgmental.
So trusted. How about another 3 words of article, and then we can have another
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah. Thank you, Terry, for trying to keep us on track. Because,
Derailed.
well, I mean, it's just on its face, we know it's nonsense, right?
Yeah.
We utterly know it's nonsense.
Stop derailing conversation, fucking Prospero. Jesus.
Okay, bite me. These people can suck my balls. How about that?
And Daft Punk sucks.
Hey!
All right. A better title would really be replacing the men.
Another thing I want to say.
Shut up there.
No, I'll just mute you. A better title would really be replacing the men with masculine yang energy and women with feminine yang energy.
Stop!
So they're both yang? There's
Yeah.
no yin?
Didn't we read this one already?
You know the ancient symbol of the yang? You know.
God, it's just one dark hole.
Didn't we read this article already? Isn't this like a whole bunch of, mumbo jumbo?
Well, I mean,
Well, look, it has misogyny up there. You know it's mumbo jumbo.
Oh, I thought that
Yeah,
was
I know, but it's a lot of
I
like.
do remember an article that had yang twice, but I don't remember if it was on this show or if it was something that I read on Medium or like I saw someone else talking about it.
I don't know. We've done another article by this author.
That could be what happened.
That would probably be it then.
Oh, she's yanging off again then.
Let's see. And women with
Yang.
feminine yang energy, because I believe
feminine yang energy.
because I believe energy transcends physical bodies. But hey, I got you to click on this, didn't I?
What is this,
She did.
Buddhist feminism?
Yeah.
Basically.
This woman spends a lot of time in her bedroom.
Trying to figure out how battery plus and minus signs read.
them C cells.
Yeah, and that's what she calls her dad, even though women don't need men.
She finds her smoke alarm fascinating.
Yeah. You're like, what's that beeping? It's so cute.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet because this should be obvious. One look at the state of the world and it should be obvious. Frankly, I'm tired of living in an overly masculinized world, and I don't care who is offended by this. If you're offended by this, you're part of the problem. What is it that is so offensive, you may ask? How's this? The only reason misogyny exists is because of envy.
Can I just say, first of all, anyone who promises to keep something short almost certainly won't. And second of all, are you confusing like patriarchal, masculine, whatever, with just basic competence?
Uh-huh.
I could understand the envy of the ability to give birth. Like I can understand like that is obviously a very powerful thing that women are capable of, but I mean, I don't think many men actually sit there thinking about it.
I have never run into a man that says, I envy your being a woman. I never run into a man. I have more envy toward
Chaos Eve.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, no, she's never said that.
No.
Yeah.
But what I mean is I am more envious of men because of their physical strength and endurance and their ability to enter into confrontations, usually with less risk. But it's not an envy that controls my life because I do have a pretty decent grasp on reality.
I do think there's, especially a lot of the bitter men who like. Women are treated nicer in society, and I think there's a lot of men who do envy that. They feel like society gives zero shits about them, and they're probably not wrong.
They aren't. At least feminist society doesn't.
But as a result, they hate women, and it's because they're jealous or envious, rather, of the preferential treatment that they receive over themselves.
Well,
incels.
What's fundamentally unfair, though, about that and driving the development of incels, if you want to call them that, is the preferential treatment that is given to women who then say that they haven't gotten anywhere based on preferential treatment. They're lying. The forgiveness of gross sins against society, like sexual abuse of boys.
That's exactly the example I was going to give.
And how they make out in court, how their little eye-batting lies can lose a man the ability to see his children.
No, ask Emmett Till.
There's still people who take Amber Heard's side in the Johnny Depp drama.
Oh, I understand.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, can you imagine if the sexes were reversed?
I am gobsmacked by that because I listened to one of the tapes. This is not my bailiwick, okay? I don't like doing drama lemma ding dong. But I listened to one of them because I said, I guess I really should get a pulse on, on this. And at some points, my mouth was literally hanging open because I was like, holy crap, is this woman a sociopath?
Oh, yeah.
It was so ridiculous. What was on those tapes was so ridiculous. It sounded like something someone would say in like a movie.
Almost.
If they wanted to be portrayed as a villain.
Almost. And the tragic part of it was what I was listening to was about the time that Johnny was beginning to realize that he could stand up for himself. Because of course he was, you could tell he was an abused child because of his literally seeking out and repeating the having the crazy mother scenario in his marriage, in this relationship, whatever this toxic nightmare was. And then beginning to hear him, like, I could tell he'd been talking to therapists or something because he was trying to stick to the subject. And she was literally changing her voice to wheedle him. She'd scream like a banshee and then would go to that, but Johnny, I love you. And it was horrifying to listen to because I was like, that woman needs to be locked up for her and everyone else's protection.
But it's amazing how obvious it is from the outside. But like when you're in that situation yourself, you're very blind to it.
Yes, you are. And for some people, commitments that they make, and especially the children that are involved in those commitments, are very, very important. And I mean, I know one of the things in the trial that struck a nerve with so many people was Johnny's dedication to the children and staying in it to try to protect the children. That he was willing to sacrifice himself for those kids that are just weapons to her.
Wait, they have kids? Why did she blame the shit on the dog?
She has, yeah. Good point.
Wouldn't that have been a much more believable lie?
Well,
the kids take much larger shits than the dog.
No, but I think what you're missing is she wanted him to know it was a lie. It was a control thing.
Yes. You agree to my lying to you. You agree, Johnny. And unfortunately, Johnny had been agreeable. And also his drug use wasn't helping that. It was rendering him more incapable of fighting back because he was in a constant altered state. And
I hope that things get better for him.
I hope they do. I hope they do too, because I mean, he's got the potential. Robert Downey Jr. Survived his own follies. His first time in rehab, he came out and he blamed his dad for his heroin use. And I looked at Cree and I said, he's going to be back in rehab before you can say Bob's your uncle. And sure enough, like 2 years later, he got busted for heroin possession. Second time, stuck. He came out talking about owning your own stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, your father was a shithead, okay? I know your father's a shithead, but he's not responsible for your continual drug use.
Well, I mean, I saw a thing on Twitter where there was like a businessman and like a homeless person, and they were like brothers. And it's like they said to each of them, "Why did you end up the way you did?" And they both said, "Because my father was an alcoholic." And it's like
Yeah.
because they had the same father, but it drove them in different directions.
Yes.
It's your decisions,
Mhm.
not your father's, that you need to be accountable for.
And the Hollywood environment is just so. I hate using the word toxic because it's been ruined,
Yes.
but it does have a use, and it is a terribly toxic environment because it is rife with malignant narcissism.
Well, I mean, you've got to be to even
Well-
succeed in that industry.
Well, narcissism is one thing. That's can actually be healthy in small doses. Yeah, damn it, I am good enough. And a little preening, but it's the malignant narcissist.
And gosh darn it, people like me.
Yeah. Karen, thanks for getting that. Yeah. Poor Al Franken. Talk about somebody else that got railroaded out of office. I don't even like the fucker. But
No, me neither.
that was disgusting.
All right. Well, we should probably get back to the article.
Fuck this. Okay, go ahead.
All right. The only reason misogyny exists is because
Another thing I want to say.
the only reason misogyny exists is because of envy. Envy from men. Envy that they need women to survive, but women do not and have never needed men to survive. The symbol for femininity is the same symbol as the Ankh, the Egyptian symbol of life.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't.
It's not.
It is the Venus symbol, you twat.
I think you'll find that it is. It says they're right there on the screen. She wouldn't lie.
And if it's on the internet, it must be true.
Exactly.
Oh no! Look on her! Oh my God! Look what she's doing down below with the word.
You really think people would do that? Just go.
I
on
would
the
just
internet
like to
and tell
point
lies?
out that the male symbol is the arrow, and so I'm gonna shoot that arrow into the author, and so that they die and never finish this article.
You're gonna shoot
Now you
a
may think
poison
that
arrow
that's
in their heart?
nonsensical. You may think that's nonsensical, but it makes more sense than whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah,
You shouldn't say that the male symbol is an arrow because that would mean that every single turn signal is misogynistic.
and here's where we get Third Reich.
why women don't use them. Can't let go of their cell phones long enough to turn on them.
And here's where we get Third Reiki. Masculine energy is more like a virus.
Oh my God!
Oh
my
my.
God!
It is simply structure, and it is not. It is simply structure, and it is not life.
Oh, excuse the hell out of me. Do you understand how sexual reproduction occurs, you stupid cow?
The people that write these kind of articles,
I'm sure she's witnessed the pregnancy of her cats many, many times.
You're probably not wrong. Those poor creatures.
I'm sure she's seen all those structures coming at her face several times.
I've never seen a cat commit suicide before.
It cannot survive on its own and looks for live hosts to latch onto until it can kill that host and move on to the next one.
That's not what a virus is, but that's okay.
yeah.
Isn't-
Biology is obviously not this person's strong point.
So men
is
are
being very
remoras, and remoras don't even kill. They're symbiotic.
No, Prospero is being very misogynistic by disagreeing with this author.
I don't care. She's destroying the English language in front of my eyes. So it's like, if you go on to the stupid next thing.
Yeah. And according to the author, since you're misogynistic, that means you're jealous of women.
Correct. Exactly.
Isn't funny how the word virility is a synonym for masculinity? Virility equals virus.
Oh my God.
Checkmate.
Beat this woman with the Oxford English Dictionary.
Yeah.
She's owning the cons,
Shame
everyone.
on you.
Yeah, actually
Oh,
they're
the
derived from
cons.
two separate words, but yeah,
Don't let etymology get in the way of a good yarn.
Enough.
There are several animal species where the female reproduces parthenogenically, meaning they do not need the sperm of a male to conceive and give birth.
She had to
Big
look that
word.
up.
Yeah,
She,
and you're not one of them, dipshit.
I think we should throw this woman a couple of quarters because that's a 50-cent word that she just used.
Well, technically, we don't know her species.
She could be a fungus or a bacteria. You don't know.
Maybe she's not a virus because that's men.
Yeah, but the shame is she's going for parthenogenesis. Oh, goodness gracious. I think she's more mycelium, personally, but that's just because I can picture her living under a toadstool.
Feminine energy is creative energy and contains both the active and passive principles in it. It is balanced. Male energy by itself is purely destructive.
Dun dun dun.
It cannot create anything, and if it attempts to, it's always a flawed version.
Bitch, have you seen the Sistine Chapel?
Yeah. That was all women.
Break it, but I hate to break it, but to you, pretty much every single major structure on the planet in human history was probably designed by a man.
You see the Great Wall of China, the pyramids, honey. That was not done by girls. Girls
imagine how good it would be if it had been made by women instead, though, instead of the flawed male version.
Still be arguing over how to cut the rock.
Excuse me. Remember that bridge down in I don't know, Florida, maybe? Yeah, the one designed by women, the one that collapsed.
No. It was a women. It was a women construction team, but it wasn't entirely female project. But that was funny. It wasn't funny because people died, but the Florida International University, I think it was.
I'm just reminded of a Dimitri Martin joke where he does a little picture, and on the top is a picture of the Great Wall of China, and it says below it, Great Wall of China, and then below that it's just a rectangle and it says OK Wall of China.
Yeah.
I think that's the woman-built version.
I like Dimitri Martin. All right, let's see.
I wonder what happened to him. Nah, it doesn't
matter. Feminine energy is the older and more mature of dualities, while masculine energy is younger and childish.
Excuse me, what creation legend puts woman on Earth first?
Scientology? I don't know.
Kronos begs to differ. The Norse, beg to differ. The turtle carrying the earth on its back. Even the Iroquois with all the noble savage crap that I'm sure this individual.
Speaking of which, Johnny Hellcat is in the chat.
Yeah, I noticed. I called him a doppelganger.
But Prospero, there's like a tribe in South America that has been dislocated from society for the last 2,000 years, and they like women.
Oh yeah.
What I find interesting is that how come nobody is paying attention to the fact that these trans guys are out womening women?
Yeah, no shit.
You don't see any women complaining about that because that's so stunning and brave. Yet
no, because trans women are women, so there's nothing to notice. It's just women being good at being women.
Yeah.
What are trans men then? Garbage?
Yes.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would a woman want to be a man? What's wrong with you?
In the whole trans controversy, I think that trans men have been largely overlooked for trans women. What's the deal with that? Is it just a case of like they're men and we just don't give a shit about them?
Absolutely.
Well, probably because trans men are just indistinguishable from lesbians.
Yeah, no, I think what it is trans women are seen as encroaching on women's protected spaces.
Yes.
Whereas men don't have protected spaces to encroach on.
They're not allowed to have them.
They're not allowed, no.
Because they're disgusting, gross things that can't create life.
Yeah. No, but if a male-only space existed, there would be calls to have it shut down.
You know what I bet you it is? I bet you that it's because a trans man is viewed as a gender traitor.
Yes, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't possibly have the same kind of dysphoria that would affect anyone else. Because that's how the sympathy works. it's based on what worth I think you have, as opposed to, there's no genuine empathy involved in any of this. That's
Yeah.
that's the amazing thing about the malignant narcissism, and this is just like nothing but cluster B personalities as far as the eye can see.
I think it would be. I think it would be interesting if more women had to do what Nora Vincent did, and like live for like 18 months as a man, just temporarily, to see what men actually go through. Because Nora Vincent, she couldn't handle it. She needed therapy when she got out of that experiment.
I love that. Reminds me of a meme that I love, the one where it's a guy like wearing like a wig and stuff, and he's like, I'm about to go see what day in the life of a woman is like, and then the next picture is like, apparently women are called fag a lot.
Oh, what about Dave Chappelle dressing up as a white person? Or was it Dave Chappelle or Eddie Murphy? I forget.
Eddie Murphy. I think.
Eddie Murphy. That's
he was doing the inverse of Black Like Me. Which was a guy who, back in the day before folks had straightened stuff out, before they got it all messed up again, just decided to try to pass as a black man to see what things were like, and it was quite an eye-opener. And it was a compelling story. And that then, people got better, and then the race hustlers couldn't have that. So we're back to talking about segregation again. It's great. It's awesome.
Yay.
All right, let's see. Okay.
Recidivism, my favorite thing.
Feminine energy is the older and more mature of dualities, while masculine energy is younger and childish.
Wrong.
Fucking Christ, you're so wrong, lady.
Adults can raise themselves. Can a child raise himself? Of course not. A child needs guidance from a parent. If a man integrated his feminine energy with his masculine energy, maybe then he could call himself an adult.
Excuse me, adults. Why do adults need to raise themselves? I mean, what? They're raised on up, right? They're already raised.
This is the simple principle of the yang yang.
Oh no!
A child needs a mother, but does not need a father. Is that what the author is trying to say?
Yeah, her daddy went out for cigarettes, and she's angry.
Yeah, is this a black author?
Yeah, because we've seen what happens to kids who don't have fathers growing up, and it's not good.
Yeah,
it's very not
awesome.
Good.
Is what you meant to say.
Right,
Susan?
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. It's nothing like the 3-hour tour of prison that the boys get, and it's nothing like this kind of lunacy that you get in the women. Because at no point did Daddy say, "Knock it off, sister."
But most men have no interest in integrating their feminine energies, despite the deep envy they have in their subconscious for feminine energy.
Well, let me tell you something about feminine energy. Feminine energy is what gave me breast cancer. So you can shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You're not real happy about that estrogen shit.
Yeah, but you were more of an adult moon, okay?
Oh, of course.
I was just like, has this author made any factual claims at all in this entire article?
Not so far.
Nothing.
She's just spouting bullshit.
I mean, can you prove any of this wrong? No, I didn't think so.
Love how you answered yourself.
If I actually find out what the hell she's saying, I could possibly prove it wrong. But until then,
that sounds like virus talk to me, Jack.
Yeah, stop being such a virus, Jack.
This woman is inverting the whole thing about penis envy that was very popular for a while. It was popular for a minute back in the day before people had all the leisure time and comfort to navel gaze themselves stupid. That women suffered from penis envy. So 30 years later, 40 years later, she's spewing out this drivel.
Let's see.
Wait a second. Before you go on, who was it? Bill Engvall that said like if men had vaginas, they would spend like the first couple of hours with a mirror just looking down.
I think it may. I think
or
it
was
may
it Jeff Foxworthy?
It would have been either one of them. I don't know.
I think the truest thing Bill Engvall ever said was, "If it weren't for the sex, I could be gay, because then you're just hanging out with your buds."
Yeah.
I remember Bill Hicks was saying that if men could suck their own dicks, then like
Never leave the house.
the half the audience would be like still at home, and
Yeah.
the women would be watching an empty stage.
Oh yeah, I mean that was an old George Carlin thing based on, oh my God, that hey, the dog's licking his balls. That's disgusting. No, it's not, honey. If I could lick my own balls, I'd never leave the house.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is an old joke. And it's like Monkey has said, oh, if I could play with myself like that, like I play with, why would you leave the house?
I don't.
I know you don't. I know slightly better, Terry, but yes.
Wait, so
we'll
using
run with that.
using deductive reasoning, Terry has found a way to suck his own dick.
Terry, how do you do it?
I think that's inductive reasoning.
Like you all heard it here first.
Or possibly conductive reasoning. Are
You just have to
hit?
get a few vertebrae removed. It's painful at the time, but it's worth it.
Didn't Marilyn Manson do that shit?
Turned into
Yeah.
a
No,
lizard.
This man figured out how to suck his own dick. Hookers hate him.
That explains why That's why it explains why armadillos roll up with trucks in them.
Yeah.
The last thing they want to do, at least in life, before they croak it, is suck their own dick.
But most no. They would prefer to stay fractured and keep leeching off the female energy like a vampire until they can destroy the feminine and civilization altogether. That altogether is one word.
Yes.
All right. After they do that, just like a virus, they will move on to their next target. Another planet, maybe. Perhaps a planet that fits their nature better. Maybe Mars, perhaps? But that could never happen, right?
Vampire viruses. Men sound awesome.
Interplanetary vampire viruses.
Yeah.
And she had to do the Mars thing, right? She is mixing her mythology. This is awesome.
Women being the personification of receptive/yin energy. I thought they were
Where
yang.
did yin come from?
Yeah.
I think this was yin yang.
What the hell is yin?
It came out of her yin yang, dude. It's just...
Let's see. Women being the personification of receptive/yin energy have fallen victim to these patriarchal traps too. They can be overly receptive and start rejecting their own femininity as well. The feminist movement has contributed to the over-masculinization of civilization by convincing themselves that they need to take on masculine traits in order to gain equality.
Those bastards.
How is this making anything better for women? How is embracing more masculine artificial energy and rejecting the feminine principle of life going to help the cause of women?
Oh my God, what happened? Did you swipe right when you should have swiped left and it all went bad? I mean, this is so tragic. Do you have a picture of the human that wrote this?
They don't have a picture of themselves. It's like a Buddha statue or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said is it written by Sargon, because it kind of looks like the old statue face that he used to have.
Yeah,
I just kind of figure that this is a robot that wrote it, like one of those AI things.
No. It's too real. It's too full of unbelievable bullshit. Even AI could not be this insane.
Also, AI would probably have gotten the yin yang part right.
Yeah, and it would have corrected for mythology errors, and then there would be like a squiggly underline on virility equaling virus. There would be all kinds of things that would, the AI would have shut down and the entire network would have down powered if it just couldn't have handled this.
It would have started going all like HAL 9000 after you started removing the,
kill
drives.
all women, kill all women, kill all. This is just terrible. Ignorance in this article is spectacular.
I think
you were expecting anything else.
I think you mean enlightenment.
Well, no, but Moonshock, there's ignorance, and then there's Wow.
And this would fall under the category of wow.
I know this is like Close Encounters of the Derp kind. It's just like, boy.
It wouldn't be so bad if she was at least saying something intelligible in there, but it's like it's she's saying stupid stuff, but it's couched within stupid language. So it's like stupid squared.
She doesn't even know how to do the befuddle them with bullshit portion of the theme paper writing.
I don't know. I'm pretty befuddled.
But it's at least, the old baffle them with brilliance, befuddle them with bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
But this isn't the kind. I mean, look, I wrote some term papers that were like, woohoo, look at this thread I pulled out of my ass. But they were cogent. This chick is pinging all over the board. She's trying to hit. It is a little bit like AI. They gave a certain number of buzzwords, and you have to create a, in quotes, opinion piece where you use all of them and use them incorrectly.
You know what it's like? It's like she doesn't know how reality operates, and so she has all of these metaphors banging around in her head, and she thinks whatever way she can spit them out in a way that sort of makes sense, that's reality for her.
Oh, she got A's at Smith College for writing this shit. You can almost.
Are you saying you don't believe that men are vampiric viruses from other planets?
Having said that, there is a Daft Punk song, Intergalactic Planetary. Anyway, sorry.
Keep Moonshock.
Yeah.
I was gonna say at least mute his ass.
It just adds to the path of destruction that civilization will eventually take if this goes on. Women do not need to become more masculine. That's adding to the problem. I don't care who doesn't like this. I will say it. Men need to become more feminine. Femininity is the natural principle. Masculinity is the artificial principle.
Just what we need, more crybabies.
Masculinity equals wearing a mask.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, masculinity has mask in it. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, just like how virus comes from virility, mask comes from masculinity.
Oh my god, you just step in front of a truck. This is oh my god, the natural creative yin energy, lady.
A mask to cover up the natural creative yin energy. Too much artificiality is bad for you at best and can kill you at worst. Men need to.
Whatever happened to men being grunting troglodytes? I mean, first we start off with men with their like basic fuck you masculine energy, and now suddenly it's all artificial.
But do you see what I'm saying? It's all just mixed metaphors that she's just vomiting onto the page.
Well, the logic, I mean, when there is no logic, the inconsistencies. She's creating a feedback loop. This is great. This is awesome. I mean, she's going to open a singularity and we're all dead because.
I think that.
She's talking about her chakras. Oh my god!
But aren't you glad you kept it short and sweet, and that we've only spent 45 minutes discussing this article?
Anyway, Elon Musk.
Yeah. Have I ever told you about grocery shopping with autism?
That's a callback.
Men need to tap into the life that they have in them. I definitely feel like the collective field of men has a very damaged and blocked heart chakra.
Oh God, all fucking mighty!
Most of them are living from the 3 lower chakras and have no interest in that heart chakra, not realizing that they can never be a whole person if they don't integrate themselves. They need to integrate their shadow self and their mirror self. They need to heal their anima.
What? Wait, she's mixing this shit up. I mean, she's moved from chakras to animas. I mean, what?
That or she lives in the
Also, don't
fucking
forget
world
Yin
of.
Yang or Yang Yang.
You say that or she lives in the world of Final Fantasy and she's just channeling fucking guardian forces and shit.
Yeah,
No.
but she's moving
she-
between Greek and it's just I don't get it.
Greek
And I do have to correct
Chinese
Greek and
Moonshock.
Chinese and
Indian.
Egyptian and an Indian and I
I-
mean
Yes, Terry.
Taoism and
I do have to correct Moonshock. Anima was an Aeon, not a Guardian.
Oh,
Force.
excuse me, Aeon, and also a foul C too. If you're talking about Final Fantasy.
No,
15.
she's bringing in Assassin's Creed because the Animus is what you use to relive the memories of your forefathers.
Oh, okay, nerds.
Hey, Assassin's Creed beats Final Fantasy any day.
Never.
It's
I'll
not.
have to disagree.
It's not anime.
The
weeb.
nerds need to shut up now.
It's not anime weeb bullshit.
Terry, they will never understand us.
Mhm.
Somebody had to say this. I'm beyond fed up with misogyny and really all kinds of femphobia. Irrational hate,
Oh,
irrational hatred towards the feminine, and
Isn't
that
a phobia a fear?
well, having said that,
Yes.
Prospero, I hate you. There you go. There's my femphobia. I'm afraid of you.
oh okay.
Somebody,
Good, I've accomplished
somebody-
my mission.
I like that phrase. Somebody had to say this. It reminds me of Blazing Saddles. Now, who can argue with that?
Mhm.
Howard Johnson is right.
You know, I only have a half a bottle of wine and I'm almost through it. You better find another article quick, boy, because my liver can't take this shit. This is I was like, I'll just drink a little wine tonight. It'll be okay. No, Mama's going for full load. This is insane.
This is why Frosted picks the articles.
I'm like Bane. I can't kill you. I have to break you first.
Fuck you.
Let's see. And that doesn't just include hatred towards women. Femphobia can also manifest as hatred towards queer men and trans feminine individuals also.
Femphobia.
I look forward to the day where we notice the pendulum really starting to swing the other way, and we realize that if we don't start integrating our femininity, accepting our femininity, and not belittling our femininity, then that is what will sustain a long-lasting, fair, egalitarian civilization for all. Some men do not want that. Some men want to keep leeching off of yin energy like the virus they are.
What in any of this screed has been egalitarian even remotely?
So is this woman thinking that all men just go up to a woman and say, "Can I suck on your yin energy?
Oh, gross.
Suck my
Why,
yin."
why do you think Frosted invited a woman onto the stream?
Sounds like that sounds like it was heading in the meat flaps direction though.
I want to suck on your yin.
Yeah, I've never called it my yin. Don't please
I pride
my
myself.
yin.
I pride myself on my yin diving. You know,
Oh, she's a good lass. She's a bonny lass, and she loves her yin diving. I mean,
Oh my god.
no, make it stop.
let's see. My thoughts about that: go to some other planet and fuck that one up. Leave this one and all other civilized people alone, please.
Do you know why we have space travel, you stupid cunt? It's because a bunch of men got into airplanes and flew around. Yeah, we had Amelia Earhart. Look what happened to her. She got lost, died.
Oh, it was
It's-
her
it's
navigator
funny,
that got her lost.
It's funny
Yeah.
because I thought that men were the ones who didn't stop and ask for directions.
Yeah, no shit. Actually, that's unfortunate. I'm not knocking Amelia Earhart. That woman had tits of steel. I mean, and that is an example of a woman who doesn't let anything stop them because they don't take no shit from nobody, and they don't bitch about a man's world. They just learn how to do it, get it done.
To be fair, it's hard to stop a plane and ask for directions.
Oh, God damn it, Camel. Look at Hate Camel's comment.
Caught a case of crabs.
She got lost, caught a case of crabs, and then died.
Oh.
Oh, dude.
I don't get it.
Dude. Oh. She's fish food, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not good. But honest to God, who was in? I mean, it's not like who did the space flight, bro? Yes, I know men made the plane, evolved potato, but there have been competent women engineers too.
Well, hold on. There was this math teacher once.
Yes, there have been some competent women. It was a woman engineering student who caught a fatal flaw in a skyscraper that was being built in New York, and it was rather significant catch on her part. But only about 30% of women at tops are going to really rock it in the STEM field. That seems to be about the highest percentage in IT, in STEM that you can hit. It's because we have a different nature. Evolution does not stop at the neck. There are reasons we play the roles that we play.
Now that we're done with our 4-minute read article, it's time for the first game.
Best game.
Shit.
It's the best game.
And that is Sad
Just
Libs.
3 more articles, Prospero.
Oh, I'm sorry. I caught a case of the crabs and I've died.
All right. Well,
People.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Fuck you, Gunski. You prick.
Prospero, you're officially my favorite guest. All right. Okay, so, Jack, I need a living thing.
Monkey.
Okay.
And I can't fight this feeling anymore. Keever Dam.
She said
Shit.
it because I once said that I hate Ario Speedwagon.
I know, but Keeve, honey.
All right,
Oh.
Moon Knight, I need an adjective.
Earworm.
Shit covered.
Ha A shit-covered monkey. What's new? Have you been on Twitter lately?
All right, Terry, I need a. You can't do it twice. All right,
You have it written 3 times.
Terry, I need a living thing plural.
I'm tempted to go interplanetary virus vampires, but that's probably a bit too long.
Yeah.
So let's just go viruses. Just keep it simple.
Now, I want you to explain to everybody what a transitive verb is as opposed to an intransitive verb.
Transitive verb is a verb that you do to something, like push or pull or,
Fuck.
Is that the one you're going with?
Of course.
Shit-covered monkeys who fuck like viruses.
Yes. Lay, lady, lay. God, that song. For anybody that knows the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs and the whole lay and lie thing, but Bob Dylan managed to give all of us hives.
James Colley says hi.
Hi, James Colley.
All right, and let's see.
I know I'm not son, but I'm doing it anyway.
I don't know if she's listening.
And say hey to.
Oh, yes, she is.
And say hey to son too for me.
Prospero
please.
says hi.
And Uzi, go make a drink for me because I'm goddamn almost out of wine because of that goddamn misogyny article.
Son says Prospero. Son says Prospero hi. Hi, Prospero. Whatever.
Hi,
the fuck.
hi.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
All right, Moon, give me a plural noun.
It's a living thing. I couldn't have said it for the next one. It would have been too
And
obvious.
Son says hi, Keeverdam.
All right, so Moon, I need a plural noun. The hell are you doing?
Plural. Moonshock.
What?
Plural noun.
Plural
I
noun.
thought you were talking to somebody else. Sorry.
Yeah, I was talking to the other Moon.
Let's. How about dildos?
Dildos, dear,
Yes,
plural.
dildos.
Yeah, okay. Enunciate.
Not Dill does.
I don't know. I can never remember if it's OES or OS. I don't know. I
I
don't.
think it's an E.
Yes.
I don't
Think-
care.
Think tornadoes.
Dill does. What does Dill do?
Dildos.
Terry need a living thing plural.
I'm gonna go retards.
Of course you are.
I'm right here, Terry.
If I'd been asked for the person, I would have used your name. So
All right. Let's see. Prospero, I need a verb ending in ing.
No, you don't. You need that from Terry.
no. We're doing for each other now.
Yellow
Yeah.
ones are somebody else.
The second.
Oh, God damn it. Okay.
Come on,
Humping.
Action word with INGs.
Humping.
There you go. Humping viruses.
All right. And
Yeah.
Jack, I need a person.
Fauci.
Oh God.
No. What's the name of that lady who lost the Georgia election but pretends she won?
Stacey Abrams.
Oh yeah.
Stacey Abrams.
Gap tooth hoo ha.
I like that we've got monkey dildos, shit covered retards, viruses
Yes.
humping, and fuck Stacey Abrams.
I think Prospero's already won.
And you know what the best thing is though? You can set it to on the first day of Christmas. My true love says to me, one monkey, a dildo, two shit covered retards.
All right. So
Virus is humping.
Humping.
Jack's is. Why does a monkey keep sending me texts asking for dildos? I didn't know Monkey had your number.
Fuck Stacey Abrams.
And Moon's is. When nipples are more shit covered than retards.
Oh no!
I obviously had to give him the nipple one.
Obviously.
Mhm.
Obviously.
Nipples are more shit covered than retards.
More shit covered than a retard should be a new aphorism.
Spud Gun, she says hi.
All right. Terry's is. 2 viruses were kicked off a flight for humping in Arabic.
I love that.
Humping in Arabic. How does one hump in Arabic? Oh, is that Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, inshallah, inshallah.
Well, have you ever?
It's the same as regular humping, but your left hand gets cut off afterwards.
No, I don't think you should reveal Prospero's. I think hers should just be fuck Stacey Abrams.
Well, don't worry because it
Not
actually
on
gets
my
better.
dinner.
All right, so Prospero's. I want to fuck Stacey Abrams' fat face.
Oh,
Yes! Yes!
no! Oh my god!
Perfect! It's perfect!
Oh no!
Well, congratulations, Prospero. You win.
Oh my god! Faithless! Shame on you! Bang the gap! Oh.
I'll make a poll for the chat so they can vote on which one is best.
I don't think that's going to be necessary. Give me a 1 in chat if Prospero wins automatically.
It's perfect!
I am so ashamed of myself right now.
The only people who need to be ashamed are the ones who haven't given us likes yet, because we have almost double the viewers that we do likes.
Oh yeah.
See, we got ones all over the
Look,
place.
you shit-covered retards! Hit the like button.
I want to fuck Stacey Abrams' fat face, Prospero.
See? Everybody in chat's
Oh.
giving a 1, so Prospero, we don't even have to vote. You win automatically.
Oh my god.
Hello.
Thank you so much for the Stacey Abrams. It just makes it
Well, let's see.
She's got 90% of the vote so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with 29 votes, 90%.
That means Stacey Abrams wins, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be the first time Stacey Abrams wins something.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Dear
all right.
God.
I
It's
think
beautiful.
I think I can end the poll there.
I think
Yeah.
so.
So yeah, Prospero wins with 90% of the vote.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best one we've had so far in the entire time we've done Sad Libs.
Oh my god, I'm out of
No.
tears.
You've all heard it here. Prospero wants to fuck Stacey Abrams.
I
fat
do
face.
not. Oh no. I do
It
not.
says it right there on the screen, Prospero. I don't know how you
Yeah.
can deny it.
All those monkeys are asking for dildos to fuck Stacey
Yeah.
Abrams' fat face.
You can't just say something like that, Prospero, and try to take it back. You know.
Yeah, no takesies backsies.
Never said that.
Sorry, we
All
got
of
it
a
on
sudden-
record.
All
All
of a sudden,
right.
Prospero's connection's gonna get bad. She's like,
Really, my God, I'm gonna have such a hangover tomorrow.
All right, so our next article.
fuck me, that first article took an hour. Yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna be here then.
Yeah, man, I gotta go for a cigarette and see if I have another bottle of Pinot Grigio chilled.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, that is not. Stop. Oh,
Is this our pal Newt shooting kitty? That motherfucker?
Yeah.
oh God. Okay, God, Jesus Christ, I'll be back in just a minute. I just can't. I can't. I'm gonna have to go sit in the bathroom and scream. You're doing this to Jeanne d'Arc? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh my god, what the hell is this thing?
Every trans person is Joan of Arc, and Joan of Arc is every trans person.
Okay, what the hell is that? Is that a dude or is that a woman?
That's Joan of Arc.
It's Joan of Arc.
Or are you talking about the
Julio, I'm
author?
looking at the picture of this author.
I'm guessing it's a trans woman.
Ah,
In response, or rather agreement, to the Globe's 2022 production of I, Joan. I, like most marginalized people on this earth, have an incredibly strained relationship with Catholicism. But it made some points when it found a way to secretly teach third graders in religion class what trans people are.
No, it didn't.
okay, everybody. There is a. Hold on a second. I gotta. Come on.
We all somewhat knew it, even if we didn't know it. Like
Okay, link in chat to this thing.
Like a
I think
pull,
it's a woman that wants to be a dude. Sorry, go ahead. I will shut up now.
like a pull in the back of your throat, coaxing up vomit that doesn't exist. Something about the way they say she prayed as she bound her chest and cut her hair, asking with each step, "Is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay?" God said, "Baby, you..." What?
Can I just say the author looks like a child actor in a 90s Disney movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, here, I'll get another picture. Another picture of this thing is for you as well, with a really dumb look on their face.
I half expect this person to like draw the Disney logo thing.
Now
with the
it looks.
magic wand.
Now it looks like a Disney child actor who spent 2 years in prison.
There you go. There's another picture of this person.
Maybe they got castrated and they kind of grew older, but they still look like a child.
Well, enjoy both pictures, everybody, because you know you will.
Let's see. God said, "Baby, you can do whatever you want, as long as you fuck up those English." I think sometimes God picks sides if the drama is right. We have so many stories like this. Girls dressing as boys to go to war, to grieve their brother, to escape the bounty on their head by joining a pirate crew of mostly Kinsey Fives.
Oh, dear God.
There always has to be a reason, and a terrible one at that. I think about my ancestors on both sides, and wonder how many little girl boys somethings sat in their room each night, feeling wrong, praying for a war. I think about my ancestors on my mother's side, who had names for all kinds of people. Alonit, Saris, Tum Tum, Okay, I think she's just naming characters from Cats. We've been here since God made the world, and I guess at some point we tried to teach the Catholics, but only Joan listened. By the way, who is we? She.
Her ancestors.
Yeah.
Her and her ancestors.
I-
Apparently, this person's pronouns are they, them, because on this little profile of this person, they keep saying they and their.
No, that makes perfect sense. That's why they're saying we. It's two people.
Yep.
Isn't it kind of sacrilegious to suggest that God put you in the wrong body?
Yeah, but they don't give a shit about religion.
I'm guessing this person isn't a devout Catholic.
No.
Oh, okay, this person says they, them, but I'm listening to an audio, I guess a cut of this person, and that sure sounds like a fucking woman to me. That ain't no dude.
She later told her captors her destiny was delivered to her by the voices of angels. She never said what language they were speaking. Trans people, I'm guessing it's one that she could speak, like French. Trans people tend to cross boundaries like that. I'm here because of black drag queen transsexuals and lesbians who cut off their breasts and men who
Those are some
became.
fucked up parents that she's got right there.
Yeah.
Okay, is it wrong that I actually like this woman's voice? It actually doesn't sound too bad.
Nope. I mean, if you're into trannies, all right.
Not. You know what? I didn't say a
I
fucking
can't
word.
tell.
Shut up.
Can I just say that may have been the straightest thing that Moonshock has ever actually said,
Yeah.
Fuck off. Actually, I'm looking at their CV right now.
and it was by a person who it was for a person who identifies as a man.
I mean,
I just realized that's why he's not playing Super Seducer. He found out that he's got to seduce women.
Well, yeah, duh. Wait, I mean, no, duh.
well, I think that a trans man and a trans man could get along really well.
I'm a Tronny. There you go. I'm a Tronny.
I think that Prospero's taking an overly long smoke break on purpose.
No, I'm back.
Oh. All right. We thought you were tying the rope,
I couldn't find, no, I couldn't find the ammo.
No, she couldn't find a chair for the rope to jump off of.
No, I was gonna do the neat way of just wander into the woods with the Mossberg and say goodbye.
No, she's a voice actor too.
Wander into the woods, and then a bright light appears, and then you're gone mysteriously.
Oh, that's because I've been spoken to by the voice of angels who are trans people, but only so I can be just like Joan of Arc.
Trangels.
Trangels, yes. It's so cute. Hi, I'm Michelina.
Trans people.
The Archangel.
Trans people tend to cross boundaries like that. I'm here because of black drag queen transsexuals and lesbians who cut off their breasts.
Wait, what?
And men who became the fiercest protectors of the women they loved because they knew that life all too well.
Drag queen transsexuals. They're co-opting drag queens completely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice to co-opt the transvestite community. Which is kind of misunderstanding transvestism, but that's okay.
Yeah, it
Utterly
it's kind of
misunderstanding transvestism because most transvestites are straight.
It's kind of
nor have
it's
dysphoria.
It's kind of funny how that happened because originally the idea was no, they're not transgender people; they're their own thing.
Yeah,
So,
they
but
always
now
were.
now it's like any man who exhibits slightly feminine traits is a trans person.
Well, yeah, because we had to get over apparently the "what are you gay" thing.
Why are you gay?
Which but that went on like terribly long, and Uzuki's right, sort of like Victor Victoria. That's just like, come on, knock it off. There have been drag performers for years who are straight. There were drag performers who were gay. Drag was just a form of theater.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. And Shakespeare had the whole gender bender drag thing. You know, it's men played women's roles in theater because women were not in the theater in a time period. This isn't. We got another ahistorical twat here. Self-aggrandizing their own. I don't even want to say mental illness. It's their own disgusting narcissism.
It's revisionism. It's
totally revisionism. All the dead Judy Garland impersonators are just screaming from the other side of the void. Shut up.
It's the Howard Zinn take on Joan of Arc.
Yeah, except worse, I think. Howard Zinn at least could befuddle them with some brilliance. You know, he was not a complete shit writer. He just had shit ideas.
Yeah.
You know, bad theses.
All of us stand on the shoulders of people who are brave enough to live the hardest life, because they knew that those who came after them would have it a little bit easier.
Joan of Arc is not the person I would have picked for this. There were women who lived as men.
What do we know about Joan of Arc? The details become What?
She's a tranny. That's what we know about her.
Yep. The details become irrelevant. She is a saint, a myth, a real girl who led the French armies to victory and died being burned at the stake for a final crime that always seems to get mentioned as a footnote.
You know, you criticize TERFs who say that trans people are stealing women's spaces. How do you think they're going to react to this argument you're making?
Yep. Because there were women that masqueraded as men, as soldiers, kind of throughout history. It was the only way they could do so to follow a brother, a father, a husband into war, or to contribute themselves to the effort.
No, they really just did it because they were trans, and the war gave them an excuse to dress like a man.
You know, this reminds me of a period of time that gay people, everybody in history had to be gay. And it's a kind of tragic need for self-explanation. And I used to have a great deal of empathy for it, except it's now in its fourth iteration of, hey, look at me. I'm special. And it's like, you know, now actually, I thought you just wanted to be accepted for who you were, which means you're actually really nobody special. None of us are. We're just, you know, people. I mean, we're special kind of in our own rights. We're all little special individuals with our special DNA. But this is the special snowflake category. And I'm sorry, I was being serious. I thought I should demonstrate a tiny bit of gravitas amidst the frat boy humor. There we go. I'm done. Fuck this bitch.
It's look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah, it is. It's mommy and daddy didn't love me enough. Now you have to.
Why are mommy and daddy looking at me? Look at me. Look at what this cool shit I'm doing.
Aren't I unique? Not particularly.
But we are used to acting as footnotes in the great and misremembered ocean of history.
Okay. The misremembered notion. Yeah.
It was said that...
Shit.
It was said...
I think she's just talking about the Mandela effect. That's
yes.
all that is.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. It was said that during her trial, Joan displayed remarkable poise and maturity. She fired questions back at her captors, cited the very documents they were using to convict her, and ended sessions of court when strategically wise. She was a master warrior and tactician on the battlefield and on the stand. Two very, let it be remembered, particularly masculine stereotypes. She needed a war to become a man, and a trial of the century to stay one.
My God, she was a religious zealot. Could you just not get that through your head?
On the battlefield, these lines become blurred. Far away from their wives and betrothed, men take comfort in each other's arms. Women
become the Janissaries.
Women become doctors, healing heroes a la Molly Pitcher. A triage surgeon may pick up a gun to protect himself on a body run with one hand and soothe a dying soldier gently with the other. Times of great horror and crisis often allow us to wonder what other kind of person there is to be. Not only our mettle and humanity is tested, but our convictions engendered self as an absolute truth.
Okay. They were right until the last sentence. People's mettle is tested in situations like that.
Don't you know
But-
that? Don't you know that old saying? There are no straits in foxholes.
Obviously.
Obviously.
And she bound her chest day and night. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Hey, bro, we're about to die down here. You want to make out?
I'll
Yeah.
be right back, guys.
Dude, before I die, I want to go gay.
Before I die, I want to know what it's like to have a dick in my ass just this once.
And to say, I just can't quit you. You know, I mean, come on. This is.
I hope someone in chat clips Jack saying that he wants a dick in his ass.
Yeah, but
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but cut out the part where he says just this once.
Yeah.
Alright. Joan bound her chest day and night. I've lightly jogged in a binder. That shit's not fun. Bending over the table of the war room, ribs slowly infinitesimally warping, long before you could pick up a G2GCB at Target. I don't know what that is. Dying for God, one way or another. How do we talk about Joan of Arc? How do we discuss a person who, in the context of modernity, seems to so clearly be something that still, even today, struggles to be allowed to name itself? Joan of Arc was a trans man.
Okay, you know this. Why?
Joan of Arc was a trans man, or Joan of Arc was non-binary, or Joan of Arc was a butch lesbian. An identity that even cis butches agree opens the door to transphobic violence.
This is just every historical figure was black, but the trans version.
Well, that's what I was saying about the everybody important was gay.
Yeah.
That was the
Well, yeah, but yours was more like I think was more like a bunch of college students.
No. There were some, and in some cases it was true. It was just not widely known. You know, the Walt Whitmans, the Piotr Tchaikovsky. You know, because there were criminal punishments attached by religion and other entities to the presence of being gay. But there was also I need to justify my own feelings through history.
Yeah.
And that if you genuinely want to be comfortable in your skin, you need to justify your existence for its mere existence.
As long as we can all agree that everyone in history was a gamer, then
of course, yes, they were, and that's why really Genesis, if read backwards, spells Gamergate.
No, I mean Genesis is not only the first book of the Bible; it's a Sega video game console. So even
and a band.
Oh,
I'll beat you to it.
But my point is, Genesis was written very, very long ago, even before Phil Collins and Peter Gabriel and all them. So
there was a time before Peter Gabriel?
Yes. Yes. Before he went up Salisbury Hill, there was a time.
Let's see. Joan of Arc being harassed out of the women's room for having short hair and small breasts by the very creatures who claim her.
Oh, for God's sake, please. I'm sorry. I am chairman of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee and have had short hair the majority of my life. I was never
a man, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I was never chased out of a women's room. Ever.
Hey,
can I get it?
She's got small tits. Get her.
Yeah, I mean that was the battle cry in junior high school. I heard it constantly. No.
Can I get a link to this author's historical fan fiction website?
You're reading it. It's medium.com.
Yeah.
It's just Joan of Arc and Catherine the Great scissoring.
Oh my god. Yeah, who was the horse in that scenario?
Cenk Uygur.
and then there's a Sonic fan character in there just because.
And
God.
Goku shows up.
I'm telling Jacob. I'm telling Jacob on you.
I think the point of Joan of Arc is that she was willing to do anything for her god, her country, her people, except deny who she was. We see this in every modern iteration of her.
What did she? Well, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
An incredibly strong sense of self and refusal to ever compromise it. The English may have nearly conquered the world, but they sure as hell did not create it. Whether you are religious or not, she represents a rare kind of collectivist individualism. An oxymoron. Give yourself up to your people, but only exactly as you are.
What the hell is this? This is tragic. This person's history teacher should be sued.
Joan of Arc, let's see. Joan of Arc chose death over denial. She led the French to victory. Didn't England win that war?
Wait, she chose death over denial, yet never admitted to being a trans person.
Right.
Let's see.
I mean, it's the siege of Orleans. It's during the 100 Years' War. And well, at the end, the French really kind of prevailed.
Let's see. She led the French to victory and opened the path for a trembling non-believer who could not understand why it was so difficult to be a girl. And I have.
Oh my god! Oh my.
And I have to wonder if the people who claim to be robbed of something by this understand that she is not for them, was never for them. A girl who dressed as a man and never wanted to look back does not belong to the cowards. Death before.
My question about Joan of Arc is, how did you get two of every animal? I still don't understand that bit.
Well, you can read her other fanfic involving her and a lot of animals.
This is just so sad.
Death before detransition, we often say. That sounds kind of messed up. All right.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc chose to be executed rather than submit to wearing women's clothes. She died for what she believed in. It was just God in a different shape. I'm pretty sure the English didn't just demand that she wear men's clothes.
No, that was not the issue. And God, see, now God's trans. Okay, this is the thing. They've reached that level of need for self justification that God itself needs to be exactly them and only them. You see, even though that notion of we are all made in the image of God, which creates all the myriad faces of God, or the 100,000 names, or 100 million names of God, or was it billion? I can't remember. What's the title of Arthur Clarke's novel?
But in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah starts with an I.
Yes, it does. I saw Raiders 3 too. And yeah, there was no J in the Latin alphabet. Jehovah.
Was there at least a silent Bob? Because we need one of the two.
Yeah, nah, I'm so sorry. I really hate to disappoint the ancient languages. People are just so stuffy about these things.
Maybe.
By the way, Last Crusade was the best movie of that series.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Absolute moron. The first movie is the best.
No. Does the first movie include a part where Sean Connery says that he got laid?
No. The best one is obviously the one where he hides in the fridge.
Oh God, no. That was horrible.
Is that Temple of Doom?
No,
No,
that's,
it was the Lost
that's
Skull.
Crystal
Oh, no,
King-
no.
Crystal Skull.
No,
That
I
movie's
never saw
dumb.
Crystal Skull because I knew it was Temple of Doom Redux.
Consider yourself fortunate.
The single worst sequel ever created in the history of sequels is Temple of Doom. That is just such shit. Star Wars is the aberration of all movies because the sequel to the original film is the very best of all three of them.
Well, that's true. Although,
I mean,
isn't
it's-
Godfather 2 supposed to be better than the first one?
I don't know. It's kind of
Boring.
yeah. Well, it is a good film. It's a good enough film, but it's not the first one. The first one just lays out the story, and as much as I didn't like Brando, his performance was good, and James Caan's performance was excellent. Robert Duvall. I mean, there's a lot of really good acting in The Godfather. Even
See,
Pacino, who can be a little overwrought. Not as overwrought as De Niro, but overwrought.
Does everybody want to say goodnight to Sun? She's going to bed.
Night,
night.
Son!
Good night, son.
Night, son.
But Empire Strikes Back is so much better than the bookends.
Yeah.
Now, the first movie is good because it's this amazing introduction to the universe. The third movie with little Ewoks doing the goddamn gremlin sounds.
I think that's worth stalling so we don't get to the next article.
Oh, really? Can we not? I'm trying to make him give up, Terry.
It's gonna happen
for the record-
eventually.
For the record, I was not a huge fan of The Godfather. I think that it relied too much on iconography. It's just like it's just like a.
Did you read the book?
I didn't read the book. I only saw the movie.
Okay.
But I just felt it relied too heavily. It's like every single scene is there's something iconic about it, and it's just a whole bunch of those strung together. It felt like it relied on that too heavily. And while it makes, and I think that the reason people like The Godfather so much is not necessarily because of how good the movie is, but how memorable the movie is.
It is
Everybody remembers. Yeah, everybody remembers almost every scene from The Godfather because it was designed that way.
Well, it was actually rather pretty. I mean, it was shot in a pretty manner. I mean, Robert Duvall's performance actually is my favorite in it, but I also think that
Yes.
Robert Duvall is one of the best actors to ever get in front of a camera.
Robert Duvall is pretty great.
Yeah,
he was my favorite character in the movie too.
Well, in part because he's not so method. You know what I mean? You end up with these. Jimmy Caan was a good actor. Pacino's method. Brando, Jesus Christ, he humped method into the ground. But Duvall, even if he studied at the New School and did the whole Stanislavski thing, like Carl Malden learned how to roll it into inhabiting a character, which is glorious to observe when an actor can take pretty much any type of part and be that part. With that, you don't catch him acting, in other words, and that's my problem with De Niro is you catch him acting a lot.
You know who inhabited a character best is Short Round.
Fuck you. And James Colley is a little brutal here. The Temple of Doom existed because Spielberg promised Kate Capshaw she swallowed. She could be a good actor.
I mean, he's probably not wrong.
Apparently, Harrison Ford refused to swallow, so he got stuck in the stinker. Because, God. Now, I did like the third film because I love Sean Connery. He was just a delight as an actor, and he and Ford play well together. And Ford had grown up a lot as an actor by then.
Yeah.
Their timing was splendid. The way they could kind of back and forth, and it didn't look like work. If you know what I mean, it didn't look like acting. Hiddleston and Hemsworth hit that in Ragnarok, I think.
Yeah.
They had finally hit that repartee where actors can just finish each other's sentences literally and it not be a problem. I know a lot of people don't like Ragnarok, but the scenes with Hiddleston and Hemsworth are really good comedy.
I know everybody hates the new one, but I do like Ragnarok. It's fun.
The new one is the
I haven't seen it yet.
we started watching it at a drive-in theater, believe it or not, and the car battery began squonking at us, and we weren't able to finish seeing it. But what I was seeing was decent. It wasn't outstanding, but which Marvel movie really is outstanding? Iron Man, the original,
the first Avengers, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but Iron Man itself is a good film.
Yeah,
the first one.
I've seen one Marvel movie and I didn't like it, so I didn't watch any more.
Which one?
First Iron Man.
Oh, you didn't? I thought that Robert Downey Jr. did a good job. It's kind of like, as much as I find him a loathsome piece of shit, I thought that what's his fuck? Bang Bang Shoot 'Em Up, Kill the Director. Baldwin did a great job with The Shadow.
Well, I think I was just waiting for something interesting to happen. I was like, okay, it's starting a bit slow. Okay, very slow. Oh wait, it's over? Shit, nothing interesting happened this entire movie.
I think that the first part of Iron Man, like the first third of the movie, was very good, where he's stuck in the desert and he's basically working to fight his way out. I thought that was very good. The rest of the movie, I could have dropped the rest of the movie, and
I didn't like any of it.
Kind of the amazing thing, though, when it comes to the end of the Tony Stark character arc, is that they did at least grow the character.
Yeah.
I mean, Doctor Strange was in that really unpleasant position of not being able to tell Tony, because Tony's such an egoist.
And
you had the one scenario.
Also, the first third of the Iron Man movie is one of the only Marvel movies I actually enjoy at all. I fell asleep during Winter Soldier because I found it boring and awful.
Winter Soldier's awesome.
Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, that's the other Marvel movie I like.
That's an entertaining film.
Other than those two, I can't stand Marvel movies.
I think we're meant to be playing some sort of picture caption game, sort of.
Yeah.
Terry, please let me put this stream to sleep. I just am desperate to euthanize it.
But Terry's right.
Fuck!
It is time for the second game of the night, which is for the chat only, boobs. And that is the caption contest.
But I like boobs.
Where I'll show a photo of a political figure or event, and the chat has to come up with a caption for it, and whichever one we like best, I'll tweet out after the show. So, let's see. This week's.
I'm hoping it's Meghan McCain giving her not Meghan McCain. The other one, Miss Piggy, giving her concession speech.
That we had that last week.
We did?
Yeah.
I thought that we didn't have a show last week.
We had a show last week.
Did we?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago we didn't.
Did you hit your head or something?
Yes, I did. Go on.
No, it was 3 weeks ago we didn't.
Well, this one is courtesy of CNN, actually, and it is the most depressed I've ever seen Bernie Sanders look. like you just expect to hear Sarah McLachlan playing.
For only a few dollars a day, you could support Bernie Sanders.
In the arms of
Like he looks full on homeless except for the suit.
And what he needs to have is a stray cat at his feet or something.
And Johnny Hellcat in chat is pointing out that he was the guest last week, so yes, there was a string.
Let's see.
You're a dick.
I want to fuck Stacey Abrams' face.
Fat
face.
You forgot fat face, yeah.
Let's see. Can I get these stairs to vote for me? I'm desperate.
What's gonna happen to him now?
I am
'Cause
the
he's-
vault my goddess gave out.
He has had 2 shots at relevancy, and he sold them both down the river for nothing.
Well, he got
What's gonna
look,
happen to him?
he got fucked without a kiss hello by Hillary the first time around.
So
Well, yeah, but he shouldn't have conceded to her.
No, he shouldn't have. He should have called her out for what she was. But
so this
Exactly.
is what happens
he
to old
wants to keep
prostitutes.
living.
They said there wasn't gonna be any breadlines. Now, how am I gonna ask for their support?
Sitting in the evening sun.
For only a few dollars a day, you can support an elderly communist. Just a normal blue-collar working man with his 3 houses. That gosh darn flying rat stole a penny from me. This is how Biden feels. I can't believe Jack forgot about Johnny Hellcat, that bastard. The Zoomers have found out the truth about socialism.
I don't know, Johnny. I mean, I saw Prospero on, and I was like, "Is that Johnny?"
Aww.
At least Hillary hasn't found me. I'm once again asking you to build an escalator here. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Oh my god.
Let's see. New painting, socialism, pre-breadlines. Rare picture of ranting monkey in his natural state.
No.
That's a good one, actually, with the stairs.
Yes, but
When communism comes to your party and you aren't in charge.
Spud Gun. I like Spud Gun. I could have been a contender.
I could have been a contender.
I could have been a contender.
Good job, because you got the Vermont.
All right.
Well, I'm from New Hampshire. What do you expect?
Well, we've got a bunch.
A little more decorum.
We've got a bunch, so I think I'll cut it off there. So, which one is your guys' favorite so far?
I could have been a contender.
I could have been a contender.
I want to give it to BG just for the callback to Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, there's that.
Agreed.
I
will
want
go with
to give it to Hate Camel. I'm once again asking you to build an escalator here.
Yes, you can hear him. I'm once again asking you.
Yeah, I think I might go with the escalator one too. So Prospero, you're going with the contender one.
I can't help it. I was just talking about Brando.
Terry's going with the Stacey Abrams one. Moon.
Stacey Abrams again.
All right. Well, I guess we're tied then.
God, I'm gonna dream about that bitch. Ugh.
So I think Prospero should just pick one of the two that it's tied between and pick the winner.
So
whatever you do, just don't have a dream about fucking Stacey Abrams' fat face.
All right. So Prospero, the escalator one or the Stacey Abrams one?
The escalator one.
All right. So
that was oddly intense for a moment like that.
Yeah, we need the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music playing. All right. So looks like Hate Camel is the winner. So I'll just copy that down, tweet it out later.
Oh, gross, James.
I doubt it's fresh gravy.
I know. It's like rancid sawmill gravy.
Yeah, lumpy.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
God, I'm scared. I'm never doing this again.
That's what you always say.
I know, I do.
All right. So now for our third article.
Oh, fuck you, Faithless. They have good spicy candies.
Can someone mute Jack?
Oh my god, I like their spicy tendies, you prick. Now I can't go there.
All right. So now on to our third article.
Oh my god, really? I mean, there isn't enough alcohol in the world for this shit.
There's 4 articles. That's the rules.
Let's talk about assimilation.
Oh god damn it.
Ah, okay.
Let's not.
You will be
Please.
assimilated.
Please, don't you have a way that I could donate to you?
Arturo Dominguez.
Not do this.
Assimilation is a tool of white supremacy, which oftentimes uses non-white people to promote white power structures.
Oh dear god. Oh my god.
Arturo Dominguez. What is this motherfucker's look? What does he look like anyway?
Arturo Dominguez.
There's a lot of Arturo Dominguez's out there, so I'm gonna have to.
The next time I come on here, I swear to God, I'm going to have a Streamlabs and I'm going to get people to donate to my liver transplant.
I just love all the comments about gravy in chat right now.
I'm trying to ignore them. Oh, god damn it. Cannibalistic wizard.
It does give a new meaning to the term gravy train.
Oh.
I'm trying my best.
The only picture of this guy is of him turning to his left, but you can't really see his face. All it is just a picture of him with a side profile view, and it's very small too.
The useless cook says apple gravy is the best. Well, with the horse teeth, that would be appropriate.
Oh god. That crab's apple gravy.
Crab people.
The idea of assimilation in the United States dates back to the mid-18th century. At the time, Benjamin Franklin and others were alarmed about the growth of the German population in Pennsylvania. In an effort to anglicize or anglify the Germans, Franklin partnered with William Smith and founded the Society for Christian Knowledge.
What? Wait. Really? How fascinating. Do go on.
Yeah, he was racist against those black Germans. The term assimilation has been used throughout U.S. history to describe non-white people who conform to the
I'm sorry, but the Germans goddamn glow in the dark. What the fuck?
The Germans aren't white. Come on.
They're spicy white.
Does she? Oh shit! Look at this. They didn't assimilate into Anglo society. Does she know what the Anglo-Saxons are?
No, she doesn't.
Clearly, this is good. This is really good. Wow. I'm impressed.
To describe non-white people who conform to the predefined and well-established white ethno-state.
Ha! Which would be primarily Germanic. But please go ahead.
Franklin used the term to describe his fears of the Germanization of Pennsylvania if German-speaking immigrants didn't assimilate into Anglo society.
Lol.
Sounds like today's xenophobes, doesn't it?
Not a bit.
In a letter to Peter Collinson, Franklin wrote, "Those who come hither are generally of the most ignorant, stupid sort of their own nation, and as ignorance is often attended with credulity when knavery would mislead it, and with suspicion when honesty would set it right."
He's just simply talking about the fact that they weren't sending the best.
And so,
No
I was
one was
just
sending
about
the
to say.
best.
I was just about to say, and some I assume are good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honest to God, at no point in there was anything even remarkable. He was basically talking about, unfortunately, a lot of people were bailing for the, in his mind, a lot of people were bailing out of Europe who were not the best and the brightest. We reversed that rather quickly and then turned into like the brain drain of Europe. But it's in short, unless the stream of their invitation. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
In short, unless the stream of their importation could be turned from this to other colonies, as you very judiciously propose, they will soon so outnumber us that all the advantages we have will not, in my opinion, be able to preserve our language, and even our government will become precarious, Franklin continued.
I wonder if she
Yeah.
is aware of the fact that Germany was not a unified country at this time. It was a number of nation states.
Yeah, wasn't it like Prussia at the time?
Well, it wasn't just Prussia. Prussia was its own thing, really, to some extent.
It's
Uh,
almost as though preserving a culture is a real concern to people if they think that their culture is the correct one.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
all-
Prussian disinformation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's all
but,
racist.
you're talking about people who are from Saxe-Coburg-Gotha or Turenberg or Turingen, the Bavaria. The Germany was not unified, and there was still a religious split to some extent that existed within Germany, and a bit of spatting and carrying on. But I mean, the Hanovers that had taken over the crown of England in 1714 were Germans. King George I didn't speak English; he spoke German. So, to an Englishman, which Franklin was, if you recall, prior to the Revolution, he was an English citizen. That could be a little problematic. There was a reason, historically speaking.
Yeah,
that
he
the
was
English might be a
racist
little-
against the Germans.
Yeah, who are functionally the exact same race he was. So yes, do tell.
Well,
I
much
guess
of
self-loathing, maybe because he was masculine and he was a virus.
Yes.
his yang yang was out of whack. While much of the xenophobic language and ideas Franklin used prior to the Revolutionary War live on today, we can't deny that assimilation is what white power structures seek.
Jesus Christ, the Germans were whiter than white.
Now they were all black. Tariq Nasheed said so.
Oh my god! Oh my god! How are these people graduating from high school?
The Germans were all black until about 1939.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and then Jesse Owens stole all their blackness, and that's why he was mad.
How do you steal
Something.
someone's blackness?
Oh, I don't know. Dude, the magical thinking going on here. Why not?
No, that makes sense. Why they hated the Jews. They stole the brownness from the Germans.
Yes.
That's why the whole war happened. Okay,
Uh,
makes sense
yeah.
now.
So
Thank you, Terry.
it's not Jew gold, it's Jew brownness.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, the golden skin, brown skin, they can be very similar. It may have been a mistranslation between brun and
Like your blackness will be mine.
oh my god.
That's the alternate version of Shang Tsung.
No, then another revelation. None of them voted for Joe Biden, so they can't actually have been black.
Yeah.
Correct. But I just love the fact that the xenophobia, there was no specific xenos to be phobic about, because the Germans were multiple states of Germans.
Hey, fact.
I don't
And,
know. It's just
Johnny Hellcat in chat points out it's not Jew gold; it was Jew copper. It was like
Oh,
It was Jew melanin.
Oh.
they wanted that empathy that only melanin can provide.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Let's see. It's not about assimilating into a melting pot, which would mean an amalgamation and acceptance of myriad cultures residing in the U.S. Instead, for the ethnic nationalist, non-white people must accept white supremacy as it is.
And if you go to Japan, you've got to accept Asian supremacy. It's like that's just the culture. You just
No shit. I mean, particularly in Asia.
You want to live somewhere, then you're going to have to follow their rules. That's
When in Rome.
yeah. Call everyone a racist. I know it's
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'd love to see somebody like this go to Japan and then suddenly realize that they were being looked at askance.
yeah.
I would like to see someone like this go to Iran.
Oh yeah, that would be spiffy. They wouldn't. They wouldn't last 5 minutes across. The
I want
border.
them to go to Iran waving a pride flag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so long that lasts.
Well, they get forcibly transitioned. It'll be great.
Yeah,
Further,
They don't have to pay for it though.
that's
Yeah.
true. They don't.
And then they can miss their yin and their yang.
no, the yang and the yang.
Further, they require non-white people to protect the ideology. As Benjamin
Yeah.
Franklin noted to Collinson, assimilation was crucial. Franklin advocated for breaking up German-speaking communities. Yet I am not for refusing entirely to admit them into our colonies. All that seems to be necessary is to distribute them more equally, mix them with the English, establish English schools where they are now too thick-settled.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he had reason in this time period to be concerned about fracturing the colonies. And it would have been linguistically, not racially, madam. I'm presuming this is a chick. Because it reeks.
Wasn't it Arturo Dominguez? Was that the guy's name?
Yes,
Oh.
it's Arturo Dominguez.
Oh, we got a bent out of shape Iberian, all upset about the Germans. Oh, he was a fan of Franco. This is cool. You're wrong, sir, madam, whatever.
Franklin's letter quickly devolved into expressing fears of Anglos being corrupted by Germans. I pray God long to preserve to Great Britain the English laws, manners, liberties, and religion, notwithstanding the complaints so frequent in your public papers of the prevailing corruption and degeneracy of your people.
I mean, I can agree
So
that Germans are degenerates. I've spoken to Badgerman.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I mean, Germans gave us Shiza porn, yeah.
in
Yeah.
other words, effectively, this is Texas telling California to stay the fuck out.
Yeah, it is kind of, and it was the language thing, and I wouldn't call it xenophobia so much as European identitarianism coming into the U.S. because a lot of Germans were still Catholic. So there's some leftover fears of the Reformation, Counter-Reformation reuniting, the reigniting the wars of that occurred during the Reformation. It's kind of interesting because Franklin was a peculiar form of Christian, if he can even be called a Christian. So, because he kind of belonged to that skeptic-y community of its time, yet was kind of persuaded to certain Christian viewpoints. And then, of course, took to the French, who were as Roman Catholic as you could fucking get. So I'd like to see the sourcing on some of this too, and how deep Franklin went into this. Sorry.
Let's see. Capitalism or white power structures?
Why not both?
Yes.
It wasn't just Franklin. During the era, many other so-called founding fathers were just as guilty of expressing racist and xenophobic ideas that still live on today. Moving from Franklin to the modern era, the rhetoric bears quite a resemblance. George W. Bush pushed assimilation hard when on tour promoting his immigration reform agenda in 2006, as did Trump in 2018.
Yes, because societies are bound together by language and
That-
culture.
That's
That
just
is-
racism.
Yeah, I know it is, but that's how societies bind together.
Bush made arguments suggesting the lack of assimilation by illegal immigrants was
Yeah.
testing America's soul. Again, this was not about work ethic or fitting in among U.S. citizens despite cultural
Yes, it was.
differences.
Yeah, it was about fitting in because they don't speak English at all.
No, the author just said it wasn't.
No, I'm sorry, but they don't speak English at all.
No, I don't think you understand. It's right there in the article.
I don't care. I'm a fascist, and I don't care. Wait, I'm a fascist because I don't care. I'm not a fascist. I don't admire fascism at all, but apparently I am one. So I don't care.
It was about accepting white supremacy and assimilating to the point of protecting it under the guise of protecting capitalism, something new to many immigrants.
They haven't met very many Texas people with Hispanic surnames, have they?
Yeah, and Mexico has no capitalism, by the way.
No.
None at all. Never has, never will. It's amazing. Oh.
Most immigrants celebrate capitalism. The United States represents nearly unfettered access to all the world's markets, something many countries don't enjoy, in part because
It's not
of...
all the world's markets that they're enjoying unfettered access to.
Yeah, no
It's
kidding.
our social programs.
Yeah.
in part because of U.S. policy. Cubans, for example, are typically overwhelmed by their first trip to the grocery store in the U.S., as are many others.
Because there's real food there, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Hey, but they can read just fine, okay? Bernie Sanders told us.
Most Cubans probably. Well, it would depend on their
I
age.
have it on good authority that poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
You know, when I was a little girl, my Spanish teacher, in my first grade year, and my ballet teacher were both Cuban, and I don't remember anybody bad mouthing Cubans in Florida. It was really rather peculiar. I don't remember any of it, and I think I would have heard at least some of the bitching and the moaning, but everybody hated communism, and so they understood why Cubans had come by droves
How can you hate communism?
to Florida.
Yeah.
It's never been tried. They don't even know what it's like.
I know, but there was, I mean, I was from my childhood, Terry, and it's no joke. I mean, from my childhood, there was this, you welcome the people that flee for freedom.
Of course, yeah.
And my Spanish teacher in the 2 years of elementary school I did before we moved, she didn't speak English. And actually, nobody was really complaining about it. The poor woman was trying to, find a job. And it was adorable because my second grade teacher spoke French but didn't speak Spanish. And so they were conversing in bump up against each other romance language as ham-handedly as anybody could do it. But they managed to do it. And it was great. And what it left me with years later was somebody asking me why I spoke Spanish with a Cuban accent. But it, people gave up their entire lives. People who had professional lives, they were doctors, they were lawyers, to come here, and maybe they'd make it as a college professor at some point, but it was very hard to re-credential yourself. It's amazing because everybody remembers the 50s and the 60s as the height of racism, and we all hate brown people, enterprising brown people in particular.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I took that in a strange direction, but it just really irritates.
All your stories end with "we all hate brown people."
Well, yes, don't they? Don't they? Because that's been my entire life arc, is watching myself be taught repeatedly to hate brown people when it was entirely the opposite.
Brown people hated you?
Yeah, obviously they've beaten me up every day since I've been on this earth. It's just sad.
That's reparations.
Oh yes, of course it is, because I have been such a subjugator.
But that celebration of access is often manipulated. We see it in many cases with immigrants assimilating into U.S. society by going so far as to defend or even promote racist ideas in order to be more accepted.
What, racist ideas like English as a common language?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This type of assimilation is often found in people like Afro-Cuban Enrique Tarrio, who who go beyond the online banter and inevitably get involved with hate groups like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers.
This entire article was designed to trash him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
This is what the ethnic nationalist wants from non-white people. And there are plenty who have committed themselves entirely to promoting and upholding white power structures. They support the gatekeeping of access to resources and social programs only seen in white suburbia. They're fine with leaving large portions of the population in poverty and relegating them to the fringes of society with no chance of escape.
Oh, honey, you're talking about Democrats. You're not talking about all white people.
Look, we all know that this article is just an excuse so that you can call a black Republican a house nigger.
Yeah,
We all know that.
Occasionally, if you're particularly generous, you use porch.
Yeah. Be wary of anyone who uses assimilation when discussing immigration, indigenous people, and the black community. It's a weapon that destroys our cultural makeup and empowers white culture, which only serves to leave us without culture or sense of community. Whiteness was...
Speaking of indigenous people, Johnny, are you okay?
Yeah, we haven't checked on Johnny in a while.
No, honey,
Johnny, are you okay? Do you need help?
is your feather wilting?
That's awful personal, don't you think?
That motherfucker has been spoofing me for how long now?
I mean, they make pills for wilted feather now.
I know.
His feather limp.
Fucks with limp.
I still find it amazing that anyone falls for like Johnny impersonating. Like he's got the black cat on the avatar.
I know.
Wait, what about the limp? Did he get the limp from Wounded Knee?
Oh, no, from the wilted feather.
Which only serves to leave us without culture or a sense of community. Whiteness was...
I'm sorry. Look at Camel's comment. Oh my god, you prick. That's horrible.
He's got whiskey feather. All right. Whiteness was invented for the purposes of cultural genocide in the West. Don't contribute to it.
I just can't even. I mean, Spittlebuggies is right. This writer's idea of assimilate is totally wrong. They need to move to France and try to work on that language thing.
Assimilation is about being racist to brown people like Hispanics and Germans.
Try not speaking French in Paris. Just saying.
Well, there are probably a lot of people who speak Arabic in Paris.
Yeah, no shit. Mostly though down in some of the smaller cities where oopsie daisy things like trucks running amok happen.
Oh god, it's 11 o'clock and we're not even on the fourth article yet.
Nope.
All right. Well, now it's time for the final game of the night.
Thank you, God. I mean, no.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It's B. Everyone just vote B and get this over with.
No. We need careful consideration of all the genders.
And that is Poe or No Gender Edition.
Oh no.
Where I'll give you 3 genders, 2 of which are from the LGBTIA wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and 1 I made up, and you have to figure out which one is made up.
Get on with it.
I'll even give you a short description of each one. All right. So, gender A. Suitcase gender.
Wow.
A xenogender that feels packed up as if in a shell and dragged behind oneself.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I love this game.
Right.
Would.
Yeah, this is his favorite by far.
Gender B. Anagender. Xenogender that one cannot describe accurately with words, though certain pictures can describe it just fine.
Oh, God.
Mm.
And gender C, epileptogender.
Oh, hell no. Don't you dare
No,
fucking
no.
make fun of epileptics, you sons of bitches.
Neurogender related to having epilepsy or epileptic episodes.
All right, I am going to take serious fucking cause with that because as an epileptic myself,
Yeah,
Mm,
that's
that-
that actually sounds like something Frosted might have made up.
if you made that up, you motherfucker.
Yeah, but
No.
he struck the note, didn't he? Although
yes, yes,
Yeah.
he did.
So
I don't think that was made just to trigger Moonshock, because you usually don't go after the epilepsy for Moon. It's usually like Tron or nipples or
yeah.
like that. Epilepsy isn't one of our go-to jokes for Moon.
Yeah.
No.
My thought is I'm not going to vote for C because if I vote for something else and it is C, at the very least I get the satisfaction of seeing Moonshock freak out.
All right. So I started a poll in the chat so they can get in on it. And don't forget, one of the options is that they're all real.
I'm going to say I want to say suitcase gender, but it sounds so freaking fake that I feel like it's a misdirect. But you know what? I'm gonna go for it anyway. I'm gonna say suitcase gender.
All right.
Yeah, but the suitcase is, you drag it behind you. The identity that I've dragged behind me all my life. Yeah, you can hear the whinging.
All right. And Moon.
I say they're all real.
Okay. Terry.
I'll go Eeny gender. I think that's a weird one.
All right. Prospero.
Sadly, I'm going to go with they're all real.
All right. Well, let's see. The chat, they're leaning towards A. Second place is they're all real. Yeah, I'll give that a few more seconds.
Oh, and Frosted, I wouldn't be angry if you did make that one up. It's just that just strikes a nerve that some motherfucker out there would take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Braniel is watching this very, very closely because he's on a streak right now.
Will it Forge in chat has given us the list of Moonshock jokes, which is Tron, nipples, cancer, or being gay, which is pretty accurate.
Also, Moon, it's adorable that you think I care if it would make you angry.
Well, you're my friend, man.
I'm just messing with you.
I know.
All right.
Look at BG's comment. There's an article about Californians in Mexico and Mexicans bitching about them not assimilating.
That's true.
I think Keeg has given us the answer in chat.
Yeah, which would actually be meaning some little gender studies twat came up with it.
Yeah. Well, I'll end the poll there. Looks like the chat went with A. All right. And the answer is C is fake.
You asshole.
Thank God.
I didn't even mean that as a Moon joke.
Don't worry.
No, that's
about
what I was saying. We don't usually think of Moon as the guy who make epilepsy jokes about it.
I want to see. I wish that Frosted had made a flag for epileptic gender, and he made it a GIF of like a white and black flashing screen.
Oh,
That
stop.
would be
That is
so fucked
awful.
up.
That is. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Moon's avatar on the flag, but yours is better.
Actually, what the flag should be is Ruth Roman's face from Andromeda Strain, because she's the one watching the screen when the psychomotor epilepsy hits.
Yep.
With the flashing red, and that's only a particular type of epilepsy is psychomotor epilepsy, where the repeating flashing triggers.
Useless Cook in chat is saying Mooney doesn't have his own gender. No, if you go back far enough, Royal Faggot was actually a real gender. So
that is one of my favorites.
I will laugh about that one, but I can't.
Royal
I can't, in
Faggot.
good consciousness, laugh about this kind of a disorder because it is a life-ruining thing.
Did you get it, Braniel? Braniel got it, so the streak continues.
You will have to forgive me if I get a little emotional about this because it is not something that I've had a fun time dealing with.
No.
Unlike the cancer, which is hilarious.
It's like let's laugh at cancer, let's laugh at Addison's or Parkinson's. Yeah, let's just have ourselves a good old time.
Yes, of course. So continue. I'm
there's enough fucktardery out in the world without laughing at real ailments.
Yes, I completely agree.
All right, so let's take a look at the flags for the real ones. We've got.
But you fuckers auto assimilate, you know.
We've got suitcase gender.
Oh, I like that.
And
I mean, it's to the point.
And a gender.
Very Samsonite-y. Oh
my
god! Are you sure that's not just the image not found?
Yeah,
that's Instagram, man.
I was gonna say someone made a flag out of an Instagram logo.
Yeah,
that's assuming there's not an image not found gender.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the suitcase is tilted a little, implying that it's like on the go.
Busy.
I think you're putting more thought into the flag than the actual creators did.
But the wheels came off of it, if you notice.
It looks more like a satchel or something.
Yes.
Yeah, the wheels came off, much like this show.
Carrier bag.
All right. Well, now to our final article. Unless you guys want to do an extra one.
No. Don't you dare talk about Elon Musk, you motherfucker.
I think it's only fair to Prospero if we give as many articles as we can possibly.
We need to have a 10-hour stream, folks.
I was gonna say, the bigger question is how much time have you
right,
got?
everybody. That's me done for the
Because
night.
over the years, I've got a lot of articles that we haven't used yet, so, you know.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Why do you hate us? Why do you hate us so much, Rostin?
No, he hates me. I'm a loudmouth, and he will never truncate a show if I'm on.
No, Frosted loves you. He expresses his love through torturing people.
I just enjoy getting a rise out of anybody. And some people are more fun to get a rise out of.
Yeah, but the problem is that you're just simply frustrated because you can't even get a rise out of yourself. I'll be right back.
I like you.
My feather works perfectly fine, I'll have you know. All right, so
twist with wind. I'll be back in a moment.
All right. So our final article. What is veganarchy?
Veganarchy? Oh my god.
Veganarchy.
I'm gonna go into the woods and die now, but I will be right back.
Imagine an amalgamation of the two most annoying groups of people on the planet. Vegans and anarchists. Holy shit.
And why is it the only true form of anarchism?
It's not.
No, it is. It says it right there.
Yeah.
Terry, you cracked me. It's like, yeah, it says right there. If it's on the internet, it must be true.
Right. As I said, you really think people would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Yeah.
Wait, if you believe that animals have rights, then why would you opt for a system where nobody has any rights at all?
It'll work out fine. Yeah. I was recently asked for more information about the veganarchy symbol, which you can see an example of in the image above. I explained that
effectively this was a religion concocted by graphic artists. Gotcha.
Now, it just looks like China trying to do a ripoff of the Volkswagen logo.
Yeah.
I explained that it's a melding of two symbols, the anarchist A symbol combined with the V symbol of veganism. As such, it represents a logical extension of the fundamental values of anarchism: freedom from oppression, non-domination, self-management, and radical egalitarianism.
Wow.
No, wait,
Just like
AV, no, the AV club that I keep hearing about in American TV, that was like a narco-veganism.
Yeah.
Narco-veganism.
it's just like atheism plus. You started with atheism and then you just added stuff and it all worked out great.
Yeah.
So an anarchist vegetarian guy.
Yeah. It's like DLC for belief systems.
In their case, it's a DLC for life. It's like, my life is bad enough. I gotta get a fucking DLC pack.
Let's see. There's a commonly held misconception, a myth sown in the public consciousness by propaganda, that anarchists believe in chaos and mindless violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a misconception, so we're going to learn what real anarchism.
It would be great if the article just ended there.
Yeah. If only. That'd be so good.
In fact, anarchism is neither of those things. The word anarchy comes from the Greek anarchos, meaning without a ruler. It is, in essence, a doctrine of anti-authoritarianism. A social.
Don't you ever get tired of these people saying, in ancient Greece, it meant this? Like, motherfucker, they try to make themselves sound smart, but in the end, it's like, you sound just like every other stupid motherfucker that is trying to pull a definition of some old dead language out of their ass.
You don't sound intelligent, you sound overeducated.
Yes,
Anarchism,
and underinformed.
Anarchism comes from the Greek virility, meaning virus.
I was going to say, you better not be fucking.
A social justice movement active since the 17th century, which seeks to abolish domination and replace it with a radical egalitarianism.
If that really is a thing, a social justice movie from the 17th century, holy fucking shit, these people have been waiting way too long to get their shit going.
For some reason, a movement based on having no leaders doesn't seem to make much headway.
Exactly. It's like, what the fuck are you waiting for?
The irony is that while many self-proclaimed anarchists pay lip service to these values, they don't extend their circle of egalitarianism beyond their own species.
Lip service. What a thing to come back to, eh, Prospero?
Is this really a narco-veganism?
It's veganarchy.
Veganarchy.
Oh, give me back my bullets. Oh, God.
Like most ordinary people, while they may condemn racism, sexism, religious persecution, and so on, they continue to oppress and exploit individuals of other species based on equally irrational discrimination.
What individuals of other species?
Speciesism.
If cows don't want me to eat them, they should stop being delicious. That's their fault. Is what that is.
Individualism. Do they?
I don't shoot heroin, but this show makes me want to.
Oh my God.
Lordy,
No,
Lordy.
it doesn't make me want to shoot heroin. Who's the author of this? We shall now name them heroin. Susan, I'm just joking. You can't.
I want drugs now. Just give me your drugs.
No, lawyers, guns, and money.
Good song.
That's what I want. Yeah, it is. Good thing you like Zevon, or I might have to leave.
That's probably my favorite song by him. All right.
Oh, Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. Come on, man.
No, lawyers, guns, and money's better.
It is.
All right. Let's see. In effect, then, they are simply perpetuating the dominator hierarchy, with human beings at the top acting as oppressors to all other sentient beings.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Dominator.
There's little difference.
We're not even the alpha predator on the planet, okay? I mean, we got a big equalizer in the boomsticks, which made us the alpha predator. But
also opposable thumbs.
Yeah, but a human without a boomstick and a grizzly bear. Ready, set, go. Try using that boomstick against a great white. Oh, I'm sorry, a great whatever. Differently colored shark.
Oh, I believe the term is whale X.
Yeah.
Well, it could be, unless you're talking about the shark, the great cartilageless alpha predator, or cartilage full alpha.
Oh shit! You're right. It's a shark, not a whale.
Yeah, it's a great
Sorry, it's late.
Well, no, there was the great white whale, Moby Dick. You're just, you're from New England, so was Herman Melville.
Hey, Prospero.
Shut up.
You said dick.
Well, we already know she thinks hate camel is a god, so I mean, she'll say anything.
I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
Just when I think I've sunk to the degree of juvenile behavior that I was thinking I had in the first article.
We just pull your ass right back down.
No, I mean, honest to God, you just outdo me. This is why men are better.
We are nothing if not serious on this show.
Yeah.
Yes. Serious stuff. Everyone's serious. You're not being serious.
In effect, then, they're simply perpetuating the dominator hierarchy with human beings at the top acting as oppressors to all other sentient beings. There's little difference in essence between their own speciesism and any other form of arbitrary discrimination.
Speciesism.
Racism, sexism, classism, or hierarchical political system which the anarchist rails against.
Well, so if you say the word speciesism and you apply that to orgasms, will that be orgasms?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would just like to say, I think that human beings are superior to amoebas.
Incorrect.
That's
we
speciesist,
have
Jack.
hate speech on our platform.
That's
I-
That is parameciumism.
Speciesism.
I disavow Mr. Gunsky, aka Mr. Boobs.
Yeah.
Mr. Boo.
He is obviously a bigot against single-celled organisms.
I hope this person chokes on a carrot.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but please.
I didn't know they made guns called Carrot.
I believe that human beings are superior to starfish.
Yeah, but starfish are prettier than most human beings.
Or would that be considered animalism?
It follows, then, that the only anarchism that can truly be called anarchism must reject speciesism as surely as it rejects any other discriminatory ism.
Okay, that's it. Anarchists are done. They're absolutely done. I mean, the poor anarcho-communists, they're the cutest of them all until this asshole showed up. I mean, anarcho-capitalists are nutty enough, okay? But anarcho-communists are like, you do realize you're an oxymoron, right? Now this schmuck has shown up, and oh my God, I just killed them with kelp. I don't know.
I mean, I get, like, I can at least follow the logic where if you're dumb enough to think that other species are equal to humans,
and sentient.
But then it follows that you would be against eating them because you see them as equals. As stupid as that is, there's like a line of logic that you can follow.
Yeah.
Anarcho-communism is just retarded.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I mean, but
even
the notion that mushrooms are sentient.
Yeah, anarcho-capitalism is impractical as hell.
Utterly.
But at least there's an element of consistency therein.
Well, it's extreme. It's extreme small L libertarianism, I guess, is what
it is.
It is. Yeah, but anarcho-communism
libertarian
is the same people that run around saying I'm a left libertarian, and you're like, that's an oxymoron.
Yeah, it's a contradiction in terms. It's ridiculous.
I don't think either system would work out well, but at least anarcho-capitalism is like physically possible.
Yeah.
And there was like one brief shining moment that was here at Camelot where some anarcho-capitalists genuinely believed that Irish society under the magisterial setup that they had prior to the conquering of Ireland, basically by Anglo-Saxon kingdoms and French kingdoms and Celtic kingdoms and all the other, but that the magisterial system was as close as you could get to functional anarchism, or the Icelandic constitution, that kind of thing. Well, you're talking about highly isolated societies where it's fine in a vacuum. Everything works great in a lab, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work all that pretty out there in real life because you have far too many random variables. And it's the variability that they're trying to control. And even this is the funny thing about anarchists. They think that somehow or another you could control for those variables or roll with the punches of those variables. Well, you can't. There are too many threads of chance involved here.
I would like to take exception to what BG says in chat. I said that starfish are superior to human beings, not to politicians.
They're not human.
Yeah.
Yeah, politicians are subhuman. They're submycelium. They actually do live under toadstools.
Let's see. I believe, therefore, that a sincere commitment to anarchism as a political and moral philosophy must include a commitment to veganism, a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose.
But you'll screw the shit out of fungi and vegetables. You bigot! Spinach have feelings too.
Don't mushrooms deserve a chance? I like mushrooms. They're a fun guy.
They form fairy rings and all kinds of things.
That is not only a dad joke, that is an old dad joke.
Ignore him when he does it. See, the thing is you keep paying attention to Jack when he does this shit. You ignore him. You pretend you didn't get it. He's perplexed as to whether you're stupid or just ignoring him. And then he kind of goes into that spiral of self-doubt and gets real quiet. It's great.
Well, I make up for it by sneaking into his house and sabotaging his exercise equipment. Let's see.
I'm not gonna say a goddamn thing. I just
Anything else is simply to replace one hierarchy with another, to overthrow your oppressor and take their place. In an obscene and hypocritical playing out of George Orwell's Animal Farm. To differentiate this truly egalitarian anarchist philosophy from other so-called anarchist credos, we use the term veganarchy. Vegan anarchy.
This person is more deluded than the people in the French Revolution, and that takes some work.
Just for the record, you do realize that the animals in Animal Farm weren't real, right? They weren't real.
They also formed a hierarchy. It's just really obnoxious, isn't it, that animals actually form hierarchies? Does this person have any familiarity with wolves?
The ironic part is that, they form their society, but the animals are forming hierarchies, so they have to kill and eat them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about how terrible hierarchies are. Oh, goodness gracious.
We use the term veganarchy, vegan anarchy, and meld the anarchist symbol with the V symbol of veganism.
Now you're just like vendetta against anarchy.
Do I believe such a society is practical, achievable, or realistic at the present time? Of course not.
So this whole article is a waste of time.
Yes.
Too many people favor power over peace.
Okay. Are they English? Are they Canadian? Are they Australian? New Zealand? Where are they getting the U?
I don't know. One of the lesser countries. I don't know.
Okay, stop it. The people that invented the language, you mean? Well, not the down under people, because they like America just decided to fuck with it. But
We perfected it.
no, actually we didn't. But that's okay. I'm just trying to figure out where this twat's from.
Wait, the people who invented the language? You mean the Romans?
They didn't invent English, you deadhead.
And besides, Rome was a circus.
Ha ha.
Oh, sorry, a combination of the Romans and the Germans.
Keep going. Mostly French and Germans with some Roman. Yes.
And the Germans were black, just so you remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me that that's where Black Forest comes from.
Exactly.
Too many people favor power over peace, violence over compassion, and personal gain over justice. If you want to see a frightening example of what happens when people are given the opportunity to self-manage, you only have to watch Trainwreck Woodstock 99 showing on Netflix at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The destruction, chaos, and violence that ensued is exactly what many people think of as anarchy.
Uh-huh.
But this isn't anarchy in any political or ideological sense, nor is the failure of any group, population, or society to constructively or positively throw off the yoke.
Oh God, they're reinventing what anarchy is on top of it. Good
Also,
for
you
them.
spelled yoke like egg yolk. Isn't yoke like...
Yeah, it's YOKE.
Yeah,
Like a yoke for oxen.
which, considering that he's a vegan, is kind of ironic.
I do think it's cute.
Throw off the yoke of state control, and adapt to the opportunity for non-hierarchical self-governance. Any reflection on the ideal itself, but rather a reflection and damning indictment on the population itself, or at least on individuals within that society.
Okay. So they're a Luddite when it comes to evolution. Good.
Great.
You cannot write off peace as a noble ideal, as a long-term goal, or indeed as a worthy practice in one's own personal life, just because there are people in the world who choose violence. It is exactly the same with anarchism or veganarchism. Just because our current society is not yet sufficiently mature or responsible to live in harmony without any oppressive state-imposed structure doesn't mean we should not strive for the ideal of an ultimately free society.
I'm witnessing in real time the draining of the soul from Braniel's body.
I'm sorry, Braniel. This is painful.
I really wish I could still comment, because I would just ask him, what would the voting age of hamsters be?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, if you're not going to have any hierarchies or second-class citizens, then obviously the animals have to be able to vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
You don't have a state-imposed structure like voting. What are you talking about? That's hierarchical. Everybody just gets around a campfire and kumbayas their way to a decision. And meanwhile, just like the stupid bitches in Survivor, we almost starve.
She gets it.
The fuck? I mean, I have a friend who went through a little anarchist phase. I don't know if he's still in it. God bless him. But I was like, you're just missing the point. Name me a successful anarchy. Well, they were all run over top of by states. I'm like, no, bro, that isn't how it happens.
So in other words, anarchism can't last.
Yeah, no, it's funny because
smarter people come along and kill it.
It's because the logical extension of their logic is that you cannot have an anarchist state unless literally the entire world adopts it all at once. Everybody has to do what you want completely, or else you're just going to keep bitching forever.
An anarchist state in and of itself is a contradiction in terms because they're anti-statist. So it is just I like to teach the world to sing. It's an ad. These people fell for the Coca-Cola ad.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you wanted to
No,
buy the world a Coke.
Look, it's the
they fell
real
for something even
thing.
worse than the Coca-Cola. they fell for like the Kylie Jenner Pepsi ad.
Yeah, except the whole kumbaya. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Was Coke. So I know the Kylie Jenner Pepsi ad was just that was
Bad.
terrible.
That
Bad
was
marketing.
world changing, is what that was.
Bad marketing.
I haven't seen it.
The Coke ad actually was wildly effective marketing at the time because we're in Vietnam War. Yeah,
I forget the exact details, but she breaks up some protest by offering people Pepsi.
Yeah.
yeah. Here, have some diabetes. Go home.
Where was she in Kenosha?
Yeah, where was she in Waukesha? Anybody remember? I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to mention Waukesha. Excuse me.
Is that where the
Nothing at a Christmas market occurred. Nothing at a Christmas parade occurred. Nothing ever happens at Christmas in Germany or in the United
Was that the
States.
self-driving car one?
Yeah,
Yes.
the sentient truck, you know.
Yeah, the sentient truck that drove into the holiday parade because let's make sure Christ isn't in Christmas because that could be inconvenient.
All right. Well, that's all I had for tonight.
I think you've got one
Oh,
more in you.
thank you. Thank you.
It's over. It's finally over. And now the
Praise-
kill Frosted. Kill.
You ought to kill me. I'm the yakky yak buggy that just keeps,
Oh. We are like 40 minutes over our usual runtime, so that's why it feels like it's been going on for so long.
It's my fault.
You are never allowed to be on the show ever again.
Oh, thank God.
So next week.
Yeah.
Hey, no. I'll be dead then. It's fine. I might come back to life at some point later, but no, I'm so sorry.
No, don't
It's,
apologize. I enjoyed it.
yeah, it's fine.
Every week, the guest vows to never come back ever, and
they
yet every
always
week
do.
Frosted finds a new guest.
Yeah. I have
and repeat victims as well.
I have dirt.
Yes.
I have dirt on every guest that we've ever had.
You don't have shit on me. What in the hell could you think you possibly had on me?
Well, I can't say it now, otherwise I'll never have you back on. You know?
Liar.
We all know about your porcelain cat collection.
Ooh, you have porcelain cats?
No, I've never owned a porcelain cat in my life. Do I sound like a woman that would own porcelain cat? How gay do you think I am?
She's not Moonshock, Jack.
I was going
I'm
to say
not
that's not a
probably-
question. That's not a question you want to ask me.
I'm not a girl.
Yeah, there's a reason why everybody always likes to say, "Why are you gay?" when they pointed toward me.
You
All
have
right.
porcelain cats.
So I'll
God,
take a
no.
I'll take a moment
Seriously.
to shill my co-host and guest. I Like Boobs has Quippers United on his channel Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
He's a
And
dickhead.
no porcelain cats.
Let's see. Moonshock has his Twitch channel linked in the description, where he allegedly will someday maybe play Super Seducer.
Look, fucker, how many times do I have to tell you? I will play it when you do not have a corner.
Why? Why not just actually stream it at a normal time and then we can
I
watch
have
it?
to have underlying conditions. Thank you very much.
No, you don't.
Yeah, like wanting to play it, and that hasn't happened yet.
You guys are assholes. You know that?
Yeah, they are. I mean, you're just catching on.
No.
God, you really are gay, and you have porcelain cats.
Oh,
Wow.
uh,
The gay one was actually the least insulting one.
I'm sorry, Moon.
Prospero, she hurts me.
Oh, shut up.
Moonshock's so
They
bad.
cut
that in
off a
chat-
tit, not your.
No, Spud Gun
Hey.
in chat was calling out Moonshock to stop whining, and he's a pom.
Okay, now here's the thing, Moonshock.
Yeah.
You know there was breast cancer in my family, so I am allowed to say things like they cut off your tits, not your balls.
Oh, of course.
Okay, well then don't go. Ooh.
Oh, I mean, let's see. There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah.
That's his orgasm sound.
Oh,
Oh God, that's sad.
that is.
Do you need to go pet one of the porcelain cats, honey?
Fuck
We
off.
can wait.
All
Here,
right.
kitty, 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 kitty. Sweet puss, sweet puss.
I love petting the pussy.
Wait, answer
Good
me
thing
honestly.
son went
Does
to bed.
Moonshock
Oh my
actually own porcelain cats?
No, as a matter of fact, I have no idea what the hell those things are.
Sure you
'Cause I
don't.
just
Yeah.
made that shit up.
Are those thingies that the little Chinese with the little cat paw up in the air? Is that what that is?
I have
Seems to be
no.
describing it awfully well.
Yeah. he
No, that's
he looks over to the curio across the room and just describes what he sees. Yeah.
Faithless is like petting the porcelain pussy. That sounds like some kind of euphemism for throwing up. I mean, it's just.
I'm not saying another fucking word.
All right. Let's see. Terry is on Hammers and Johnny Hellcat's Minions Nights. He's on Six of Sober streams. He's on Quippers United. He's on. Is that everything?
Everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Anything you want to shill, Prospero?
Mm. Minions of the Zoo. Tomorrow evening, the Harry Channel will be hosting, and he always has a great, very well managed and orderly stream. It's kind of amazing. There's actually a grown up among us all. And you can find me on Tuesday nights, and you'll probably be finding me on Saturday nights again pretty soon on Minions.
Unfortunately, you won't anymore because us vampires have drained all the feminine yin from Prospero, so she's probably going to die as a result. So,
I didn't have any of that. I was like totally yang, which was kind of tragic because I'm just the wrong kind of girl.
So the men got to you early, is what I'm hearing. They drained
you.
Yeah.
He's got a set of brass balls this big.
Well, yeah, and I stole them from that monkey over there.
Her chakras are all out of whack.
Kevin never found my chakras.
Those damn heart chakras.
All right. Well, we should be back next week at the same time, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Moon likes porcelain cats.
Fuck.